and I thank every single one of you for coming out here tonight. This is not a drinking bar. However, we are going to be answering questions that have been asked on our Discord over the past 3 days. We will have a live question session after that segment, and we're going to try to get through this in roughly about 2.5 hours. We are going to be recording, so let me make this clear. If you do not want to be recorded, this is probably not the bar for you to be in. However, we will be putting it on YouTube, so that recording will be available as soon as it's uploaded and verified and all that. If you would rather your questions be asked on the Discord, there is a cutoff point that I've put a line. Any questions in there, I will go through that in the ask session at the end. If you are found doing things distracting the crowd or anything like that, we will eject you or ask you to stop. And then if we have to give you another warning, we will eject you. Our moderators tonight is Savannah Berry, Cheese and Mac, Tom Malone, Reedy wherever they're at, Miyuki, and myself. As well, if Eternal NA asks you to do anything, please listen to the moderators. That said, we're gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and let down the mic.
Why did they say my name?
All of that.
Just security.
So.
Oh yeah, we're just security.
All right.
Sorry guys.
We're not important. They don't care about us.
Sorry, I can hear people. I can hear people at the security. Is that supposed to be able to happen?
Yeah. Please let go of the security mic.
Don't use the mic. Don't use the mic. Don't use the mic. Don't use that mic.
Finger pointing through the wall.
I forgot I had the phone.
Fix that.
Who is the person who has the mic right now? That doesn't sound like one of our staff.
That's someone helping with security personnel.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, can everybody hear me? Hello. Everybody able to hear me? Okay. Nope, it is not live on YouTube yet. It is not being live streamed. It is instead going to be recorded and uploaded at a later date, and the announcement for to the YouTube channel will be made once we have the YouTube channel. But we do not have that information to provide just yet. Yeah, we do not have that information just yet for you all. But yes, everyone, thank you all for... I am on the active system right now. That's what I was talking to you backstage about. Okay. I'm on the system.
I'm sorry. I ran out here.
No, you're all good. However, Rennie is sounding loud right now.
Yeah, you haven't activated your mic. I thought we were all going to use the system.
Oh, I thought we all were going to use it. It's fine. It's whatever. But yes. Okay. So, here's the situation. We have questions asked in the AMA that we are going to get through. This is not going to be an open forum yet, but we will eventually be bringing it up to you all to be able to ask your individual questions. In the meantime, this is to hear the questions that we have asked to the AMA channel and to answer them from the group. But first of all, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. I want to start off with some introductions. We are the staff, the owners, as well as the Duskview keepers here. So I want to run down some quick little introductions before we get over to the questions, starting with the owners, but everyone here is going to answer these questions, which is to say we want to give you who you are, what you do for DCN, and if you could be one pizza topping, which pizza topping would you be? So let's start with Rennie over here.
You don't want to do me like that. Alright, hi everybody, I'm Rainy. I'm the programmer of this place. That's right. That's what I do. I program. Do you need to know any more? You don't want to know
pizza
more.
Topping.
It's hell for me. It's hell for you more. And if I were a pizza topping, I'd be pineapple because only half of you can handle me.
My God.
You want me in the trash can for whatever reason. So you know what? Whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, my sibling.
That's my Riz.
Hi everybody. I'll go ahead and popcorn next. My name is Lingy. Again, I am the modeler of this place. Everything you see, other than that invisible pool table that has not existed for a month, as well as the beer pong table, is of my creation. I'm proud to be a Blender artist, and I have no professional or classical training, no education. I am YouTube certified, so yes, you can do it too, and you should. If I was a pizza topping, I would be grilled chicken because everybody wants to grill me, I guess. I don't know. I don't have the wit that this one does. Tome, you've got the floor.
All right, Tome.
Oh, Lord. Hey, I'm Tom Malone. I do community ambassador work for DCM, which means if you have an issue, if you're a bar owner, you want to reach out, see what's going on, you're going to come to me. If you've ever opened a ticket before, guess what? You've probably seen me. Besides that, if I had to choose a pizza topping, I'd say probably just ham because I want to complete the Hawaiian pizza because it's the best kind of pizza. Just that simple.
Yo.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
I guess I'll take over. I'm Cheese and Mac. I am the HR person of Mute Yourself Lingy, if you can. I am the HR person here for Duskview. I take care of all the complaints, all that kind of fun stuff, and look over all the details of staffing and the whole shebang. But I'm also one of the keepers, so I help out Dear Savvy here and help out the twins in dealing with everything, and so does Tom. And if I had to be a pizza topping, we all know what I'd be. I'd be the cheese smothered all over the pizza. I'll pass it to Savvy.
Hell yeah.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Savvy. Previously the artistic curator. My poster is still up there for the same purpose. However, that's going to change soon once we get nerdy into the system. But I am the new Duskview keeper along with Cheese, with our support staff of Tome and Viper, who could not unfortunately make it today. However, will be around in the future. And yeah, we just look to help push the vision forward and continue to move things and progress them in DCN. As far as pizza topping for me, it's bacon. I'm gonna be bacon. I know that's similar to ham, but I love bacon. That's gonna be the thing. Questions are at the end. It is not questions time till later, nerdy.
Do you have my babies though? But will you have my babies?
No shit.
I will have
Please have my babies.
one. I will have one ethnically ambiguous, gender fluid baby for you. Just one. Anyways.
Bet done.
What
All
Nerdy
right.
has done for us now has shown us exactly what we're not looking for tonight. If you do have a question, make sure you are saving it until the end. Thank you, Nerdy, for that.
You're welcome. I figured you guys needed one, you know?
All right, everybody. So we're moving into the questions here. We're going to bounce back and forth between a few different things. I tried to consolidate as many questions as I could and get to the points of the things that we were going to go over. So we've consolidated the most important AMA questions in terms of getting to know the staff, getting to know the future and the moves in DCN, and what it takes to be a good sunset bar, all of those different things. We've got some fun questions in here, too, to get to know the staff and all of those things as a whole. And then I have what are called the roadmap questions. Lingy is already preparing to give you a full download on the roadmap. So if you asked any roadmap questions about the future of the bar, changes, assets, props, things like that, chances are they're going to get automatically answered when Lingy goes into his whole spiel. So that's going to be coming up here in just a little bit as well. And then after we get through all of these questions, we will be going over into an open-ended forum. Now, to start us off with these questions, let's go ahead and start with a couple for the twins themselves, which in case you weren't aware, these two founders here are actual twins. Which as a...
Yeah, how about that?
Shocker.
It's crazy.
We're supposed to be... It's our favorite Ron Funchies joke right now. We're all supposed to be beautiful snowflakes, and yet every once in a while there's a direct copy of one of us, and we don't stab it in the skull? That's crazy. Anyways, so let's start with this first question that's coming from Finny. All right. So, for the two of you, if you were to tell your own 10-year-old self that you would be your own boss and running something like this, how would your younger self react?
Dang,
So my
you lead.
10-year-old self unironically thought I'd be working and doing something like a delivery job when I was growing up, because I had almost no aspirations personally. And lo and behold, a self-fulfilling prophecy, I worked in pizza for 10 years. I hated every moment of it. So 10-year-old me would have never have expected this, not once.
I just said don't change anything. Because if I screw anything up, I ain't gonna own this place. If I tell my 10-year-old self anything, it's gonna be invest in Bitcoin. Then you can just do whatever. So, No, but to be completely honest with this, I would say to keep going with the programming. Like, figure it out quicker, faster, more efficient ways of handling it and stuff. We probably would have made a world on VR Chat a lot quicker if it wasn't for me kind of having to learn as I went along.
Did you understand the question, or did you misunderstand the question?
Huh? We're something our 10-year-old self.
Okay, Lingy, you'll get there.
Sorry, what's that?
Ask me the question again.
If you told your 10-year-old self that you'd be doing this and be the boss of your own company like this, what would they have thought?
Oh, what would they have thought?
Yeah.
Oh. Tell you what, 10-year-old me would not have even understand any of it. I'd be like, a bar? I don't drink alcohol. That's gross.
I feel like 10-year-old you would be like, what's a non-binary?
Exactly.
All
Yeah,
right,
we
so that's a
wouldn't have
question
gone any of that.
for y'all in that space. Let's get into some other questions here. Well, actually, I'll do one more follow-up from that. What's it been like for the two of you? For us from Zai, what's it been like for the two of you seeing the world's success? How does it contrast when you first uploaded the Sunset Bar to Community Labs?
So when I first uploaded this place, that was a wall. There was no Sundown Lounge. The bathroom hallway wasn't an L shape. It was a straight front to back. There were 2 bathrooms on the right. I had no expectations for the place. So to get where we are now, I can't believe where we are. Like, I come in here every night and I'm like, wow, all these people, what did I do? I know where my scuff is. I know where I've underperformed, and I look at it every day, but I can't focus on that. I have to focus on the successes, because nobody wants to see somebody that they look up to droning about all their problems and this and that. No, this is success. This is a massive community that nobody could have expected, and I am so thankful and grateful for being surrounded by every single day that I wake up. Like, 10-year-old me is so jealous of this, Lingy.
Hit me with a question.
Okay, awesome. What's it been like seeing the world's success?
Ah, yes. So the world's success, right? I thought I was going to have to do something crazy to get this place advertised, actually. So seeing that it took off without needing that is kind of crazy. Because I was trying to do something on Twitter in parallel. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to get a little popular on Twitter. I'm going to advertise this place. Hopefully everything's going to go well. Thankfully, we didn't have to rely on that. I will stab you with a microphone.
All right, excellent. Now let's just keep in this realm, because this is the last of those types of questions here. From Biff here, what was the main inspiration for Duskview and the Sunset Bar? Was there any eureka moment where the idea popped into your head to build it?
So I actually started this project shortly after the Midnight Bar came out of Community Labs. You can actually see that the first version of it exists all the way back in April of 2023. I, however, dropped the project because I was spending sometimes 8 to 10 hours in Midnight Bar at a time. Between April and June of 2023, that is where I spent exclusively the majority of my time in VR Chat. I did freelance bartending before a lot of the major bar players actually even came out, and I had no idea I wanted to make a bar at that time. The idea drifted in my mind, but it wasn't until Midnight Bar added their Patreon, and you could spend $10 and get behind the counter. And I said to the people I knew at the time, look, you're going to stifle roleplay, because people are going to not want people coming in off the street and just being able to come in. And lo and behold, a week after the Patreon comes out, I get met with somebody who's like, I'm just going to promote everybody in the instance, open the back door so everybody can go to the little spa, and then I'm going to walk behind the counter and just be like, all right, yeah, cool, get out. That's not the full version of what was said, but for the viewers at home, if you know, you know. Because of that, I've been to the Midnight Bar a grand total of 3 times since that time. I immediately lost all interest in doing anything else, and I had to do something better, because I knew I could, and I knew I could facilitate my own experience going forward to give myself and anybody who shared in my collective vision of what it should be a new home because I needed it. And to that end, just to round out that story real quick, the number of times that I've officially bartended in here, twice. Twice. So I need to work on that still, but I have my own place, I suppose. Thank you, Midnight Bar.
My inspiration for working on this place has been whatever Lingy tells me to make. It's that simple.
Thank you, Rennie.
All right. So before I jump into some of these more logistical questions and things of that sort, I want to ask something from totally an unbiased Duskview keeper and veteran of the community type place, just so it can be asked in this open forum. When it comes to crashers, people causing drama, and overall causing your bar experience to not be what you'd like, what can DCN and the management staff and us legitimately do to mitigate and stop that from happening?
I can answer if you want.
But let's send it around. Yeah, Cheese, go ahead.
So to deal with the crashers, they're a big pain in the ass. But at the end of the day, turning your safety settings on is a good way to help yourself personally, because a lot of the crashing is done on Avatar side. Though there are client crashes out there, that's just a whole battle in itself. To deal with eternal drama, the block button is your friend. And also go to the staff of that bar that you are currently at and talk to them. Say, hey, this person's causing a drama, they're causing a problem. Work with them to diffuse the problem. Don't immediately give into it, don't fight back. Just be calm and diffuse it in a calm manner. If you cannot do that and the staff at the bar is not helping, we are eventually going to be putting out a program here through DCN, which we are going to be calling our Peacekeeper initiative, which is basically going to be people who you can ping a staff member and we will come and help you try to diffuse the situation and try and help you out. Now, that does not mean that we will come in and just slam the bam hammer down and kick someone out. We are not doing that. We are only there to help. On that note, Blingy, do you want to add anything onto that?
I wouldn't mind. So to that end, we get it a lot in the Discord, private messages. Some people will ask me, literally come into me in VR chat, hey, you're a world author, just ban them from your world. We don't have that power. Nobody has that power. VR chat doesn't have that power. So what can we do? I wish I could say we could do more, and we do want to do more. With the Peacekeeper initiative, we want to be able to settle disputes between bars because we know that sometimes tensions run high, and as a community, we should talk things through instead of just butting heads. I know, sometimes it feels really great to be able to butt your head, or sometimes it's not about the feeling, it's just what comes natural, I suppose, but we do want to make sure that everybody is having a good time and a fair shake. So, what can DCN do? We can give you the tools to help you moderate your instance, diffuse situations through the jail, of course, dumpstering them out of your instance. Really, that's about it. But there might be a few things in the pipeline, so stay tuned, I suppose.
I did want to note, on the note of crashers and more specifically drama, this comes up quite a bit in tickets. If you do have a major concern to the point where it could be brought to a higher standard than us, please go ahead and contact VR chat support or Discord support. One thing we've gotten a lot of is people throwing around some very heavy and major accusations at others, and this ties right back into it. There's not a lot we're able to do as DCN, so we want you to go up to the next level above us, which is why you'll find us referring you up to VR chat support and Discord support quite often.
Yes,
It is
thank you.
important to note that if you are just to round this out real quick, if you are collecting evidence for something and all you have is Discord evidence, that needs to go to Discord. VR chat cannot do anything with that. And same for us. We moderate our Discord. We do want to keep peace amongst the community, but we don't own the community. Not a single person in this room owns the community. We all represent it. And if we want a better community, we need to represent it well. So we ask that, sometimes it's butting heads, but We want to try to get past that. We want everybody to move forward together.
Yeah, I find this an important issue to echo on specifically because we are very lucky and privileged to have the connection that we do between the founders and their investment in the community and moving forward and developing a culture within this space. But at the same token, if you had a personal drama with or a beef with or didn't like what someone was doing in the Black Cat, you wouldn't message Spooky Goes Boo about it. Because Spooky can't do anything about the Black Cats. And it's the same thing with these public instances and whatnot. We are going to have systems with, which we'll talk about the DAB in a little bit and other things coming up in the pipeline, but the same statement is going to be the case at all times. This is VR chat. It's a microcosm of the internet. Anything and everything that can happen on the internet happens in VR chat. Everything and everything that can happen in the Black Cat happens in the Black Cat and in here as well. It's a very large world. So you're just going to see all kinds of things. So learning how to moderate for yourself and for your instance is the best thing you can possibly do. All right, moving into some other different questions here. I've got a question from Luna here. Will you be implementing the ability to host multiple bars?
That is a fantastic question, and one that we do get pretty often, actually. We are looking to change from the Patreon model to our own payment processing through Stripe. Patreon already uses Stripe, so technically if you've used Patreon, you're familiar with Stripe, just not maybe on a surface level. We are doing this so that we can actually better control what users want to receive from their bars. So if you are looking to build a package that is akin to a blue tier bar or a pink tier bar or an orange tier bar, you'll have that advantage. You'll have that ability. If you want to add on extra playlists or there's a bunch of things we're throwing at the wall. We're seeing what sticks, what ideas sound. But basically, there is going to be in the future the ability to run multiple bars at a discounted rate. That is something that will be coming out. You can technically already do that, I might add. On the Patreon, we do have the bluish pink tier. It is technically 2 pink grade bars at the low at a lower rate, but you only get one of the advertisement banners, for example, for that. So there are a lot of things that we are hoping to accomplish with this system that will give people more finer control over what they're actually trying to get out of their experience.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. All right, to another point. And I'm going to ask this from my own library here. If a person, staff or otherwise, and not a designated peacekeeper, whether they're staff or not, pops into your instance and says, I know Lingy and Rennie, or I'm on staff, do as I say. Do I have to listen to them? Cheese, what do you think?
I'm going to grab this one. No,
You got this?
we are not even, we ourselves, the keepers who interact with Lingy and Rennie daily, are not even allowed to use the I know Lingy and Rennie, my word is final. If you bump into Lingy in public, you bump into Rennie in public, you add them as a friend, that does not mean you have the say of the world. It doesn't matter. The only people you should be listening to is the designated staff members that we have appointed inside of the community, such as the peacekeepers or us ourselves, the Duskview keepers. We can come in and tell you, hey, like, this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to try and help you out, and that is the law. But if another staff member comes in and they are just one of our photographers of the world, they do not have moderation say. You do not have to listen to what they say. And if you do get any complaints of that, and if someone's coming in trying to throw around power, please report that to me. That is my job at HR, is to tell staff members when they are doing a bad job or when they're stepping out of line. So please pass that along to me. And if you would like to add to that, Lingy, here you go.
If somebody comes in claiming to be VR chat staff, first off, they would not be claiming that. You have to find that out yourself. They will usually have a 0 population VR chat staff group. That is usually a telltale sign, but they will not advertise this directly most times. If anybody comes in claiming to be DCN staff, they better have that red shiny banner that is kind of old and pixelated above their above their nameplates, so you can see it above everybody except for me right now, since I'm still repping the standard group personally. But remember as well that even if one of us come to your instance, it is still your instance at the end of the day. You are making your own representation of how your instance is to be performed and what you want to do in it. You don't need my permission or anybody on this stage's permission to do anything. If it is within the realms of the VRChat guidelines and terms of service, you are free to do it. If you are going to break terms of service, you do so at your own discretion. I would ask that you do things that are not traditionally illegal, found in, the 50 states and major colonies and wherever else you are in the world, I suppose. But
You live and die by your mistakes.
yes, what you said. You live and die by your mistakes. But however, if I'm going to go ahead and tack this on, because I get it asked a lot these days. Hey, I want to run an NSFW event in your bar. Yeah. People do that in VR chat. It is technically against the terms of service. If you do so at your own discretion. You should be doing it in a group plus or group private instance, or a friends plus or friends private, or you should be doing it in a private instance, frankly. But if you can age verify and you're doing your due diligence, you know what? You're doing better than some of the other communities. And I think, if you want to roll the dice, whatever. Do it with your own due diligence. But you do that under the expectation that we're not going to say anything, VRChat's not going to say anything if you're doing it right. I think that's pretty much how it goes. But if you're not doing it right, you might get an angry call. Or, worse, a not so fun lettered email.
And for the love of God, please do not run an event where you have 13 plus members up here in the front and then 8 plus ERP going on in the back. Is not a good mix. Do not do it. Tim, you want to add on?
Yeah, I wanted to reiterate on the point that Duskview City is not in charge of moderating anybody's instance at present. As Cheese brought up earlier, our whole bar association program we're putting together now will somewhat change that, as it's an opt-in program. But for anyone who is not involved with that, which right now is everyone, you are not subject to our direct moderation in terms of what you are and aren't allowed to do as long as you're within VRChat TOS. Nobody will come up to you and tell you you can or can't do this in your own instance as long as it is legal and within VRChat TOS.
I never stepped in.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna wrap this question up. Like Tim said, everything that any staff member says is at the end of the day just a suggestion. We are not the final law. You are the owner of your own instance. On that note, I'm gonna pass it to Savvy, so Savvy can go to the next question.
All right, perfect. Let's get some rapid fire off here, okay? Can anybody talk to us about how often, and this question comes from well, actually, Tom, you aggregated some questions, so some of these are going to be from Tom Alone, but I don't know where he aggregated them from because he was the one who posted them in the AMA. So from Tom Alone, how often are we going to be running official DCN events here in Sunset?
Personally, I would love to run them for every major holiday, but beyond that, if we're talking about more regularly, that would be a question for the wider staff team.
It has traditionally been one of my goals to try to limit the number of things that I actually do as official events. My reasoning, and we do like to do holiday events, that it's kind of a given, but my reasoning is that the more things that we do at our own official capacity is taking away from what others can do in the community, and it's always been my goal to not take away from the community. I want the community to be able to, if they find themselves so inclined, to step up, grab the mantle, and run with it. Ride that horse, get into that rodeo, whatever you're doing. You want to do an event, do it. We don't want to gatekeep that. We don't want to make it so that it's impossible to run things because we're always the ones running them. We do like to have fun as well, and there's a very basic expectation. Yeah, we're probably going to run things on holidays because it's a good time to do it, I suppose. But other than that, you might be able to expect more of these AMA and staff bars. I admittedly will be in the next few weeks as well having a Liggy specific session. So if you're looking forward to that, I'm going to be announcing it here soon too. This one is going to be a little bit funnier. I'm going to just open it up to anybody's questions and any sort of questions whatsoever, and I'll try to get through that as best I can. But if you do want to see more DCN events, let us know. Like we don't mind doing it. Exactly. We don't mind it, but we don't want to take away from everybody else. So.
Excellent. Okay, so bringing on to, we'll go for a fun question here. What is each of yours funniest, most memorable experience at Sunset?
Oh, don't hand it to me first. I gotta remember.
I will do. Oh, Laura. I will go with my favorite memory then. One of my fond memories of this place is earlier on in my time of finding Sunset. I remember I was running around with Lingy and Rennie and the whole crew, and at some point we had about 8 or 9 Rindos up here on the stage, and we were just all dancing and singing and shenanigans. So that was just a hilarious night to me, and
It was a beautiful night.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a cult of Rindos invading your bar? So I'll pass it along to someone else now.
I suppose I'll jump in here next. Yeah, going with the theme of the whole cults, I remember it was about a month and a half ago at this point. I forget the name of exactly what bar it was, but it was one of the few bars running a major whole thing going on in the back by the club, and we had basically the whole instance out there on the dance floor. Everyone's hanging out, having a good time, and there was this one dude who came in with full body and started absolutely shredding it down there on the dance floor. I mean, I'm talking like break dance. I'm talking handstands. Craziest shit I've ever seen. And it was so entertaining. Everyone was circling around them, hyping them up, and it was absolutely amazing.
One of my fondest memories, and this is one that I'm going to just absolutely hold on to forever. I have to thank Savannah Berry, our lovely Savvy, absolutely for this. It was the opening night of the Savvy Bar, where I got to see firsthand a night of actual live entertainment on this very stage. I've always had this sort of ideal to see live entertainment in VR chat in a digestible format. My very first days on VR chat, I'm sorry for the tangent, but I went to the Great Pug, and I would see people actually entertaining people up on the stage. Sometimes not on the stage, but either way, I told myself, man, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. But also the stage in the Great Pug sucks ass. Like there's no tables. It's in the corner. It's kind of like weirdly placed. Oh, and then the Black Cat comes out a year later, and both of its stages are also terrible. They're better nowadays, but the old Black Cat used to have a pillar in the bottom stage, and the upstairs stage, if you wanted to stand in front of it, you were standing in a damn stairwell. So I didn't quite get that design decision, but you know, I'm not spooky. I'm not Owlboy. I've always wanted to create my own stage, and somehow through the grace of this project, I was able to actively do this while doing the bar. I was able to check all of my boxes at once. Savvy gave me that experience that I had so desperately longed for years. I hadn't gone to like a lot of the open mics or anything, and I could have, but I wanted to see it in good places, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I of course I consider this to be a good place, but just something other than where you'd expect it. This is not maybe a place that somebody would expect actually live entertainment. It's got the stage, but but who's going to use it? But we do, and that's what makes it so memorable for me.
I'm gonna keep things simple because he likes keeping things complicated. When me and Cheese ran a bar, Cheese knows what I'm talking about. Stand still, buddy. Stand still, buddy. Stand still. Stop moving. Stop moving. Stop moving. Listen, I'm not an alcoholic, but
You are a real one, okay?
You're all real ones.
My God.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, and I'm gonna keep it simple as well here. Just in general, being able to have the spaces to do my music work and you know, any time I get to perform music has always been wonderful. I was gonna say Linky's, and then I was gonna say what Rennie just said. What I was gonna say once Linky took mine was just to say, oh, just you know, the occasional nights where you pop into the Parmesan Palace or into one of those bars, and she's like, Savvy, stop moving, Savvy, stop moving,
Stop moving.
Savvy.
Stop moving. You're a real one.
Why
You're a real
does
one?
everyone like drunk cheese so much?
Oh
It's
man.
funny.
All right, moving forward here.
Crazy.
We got a question from Luna. Will public staff applications for DCN and Sunset ever be opened?
You want this one,
You
Cheese?
want me to answer that since I'm HR? Yeah. Let me grab them again. All right. So as it is right now, we are, restructuring the entire staff order, the whole hierarchy, everything. 'Cause as we have grown as a community, we have grown into some growing pains where we're realizing some things are not good, some things are needing worked on, and we just want to give you guys the best experience. Yes. Sadly, Lingy does not have eyes everywhere, and he cannot see and hear everything. So that is why we're all here to help, and we're here to pretty much help do the more manual grunt work while we clear Lingy up to work on the world. So on that note, we will eventually be doing public staff applications, but right now we just ask people wait, hold on while we get all of our ducks in a row, and then we will probably visit it. I would say in maybe a month's time, we'll have applications down for people to start looking at.
I'll go ahead and tack on to that real quick. There are a lot of exciting positions that we're going to be opening up soon. We're trying to tackle issues not only with the idea of moderation, but also things like photography, video taking, social media, things like that. There are a lot of initiatives that are coming up, and yes, we are on a bit of a staff embargo right now while we get through the set growing pains, but it shouldn't be too much longer. I think we've done a lot of work for the future, and we're about to get seriously ahead of all of this. It's going to be great. And at that time, yes, we will definitely be looking for people who are looking to sign up. We will have something a lot more official in the future. It'll be a lot more official than, oh, Lingy just finds who he trusts and bam, their staff, I guess. We're looking. We're always looking. Like, we want to see people that are performing and showcasing actively in the field. And if we see that happening, we might just approach you about a position. It might not be the other way around.
I was gonna reiterate as soon as you said that, it dinged into my head. If you are interested in becoming a staff member, I would recommend interacting with the community more. Get around, just talk to people. The more we see you, the more we hear your name, the more it leaves a better impression, and that we know that you actually do care about the community. And it's we just want to make sure we're hiring the good beans, or we're getting the good beans out of the community to come help us.
Yeah.
Adding on to what she said, I just wanted to put in one small caveat to that. We want you to get your name out there and be well known in the community, but be careful you're getting positive attention, not negative attention. We have had cases in the past where people have inserted themselves where they may not be needed, and we've gotten complaints about people trying a little too hard to be helpful. It's good to be helpful and be available to help those who need it, but be careful you aren't overstepping and making yourself a nuisance instead.
Yes, to that end, we can also mention there has been some movements in staff and whatnot, and there are a few people here who have actually been brought onto staff in the immediate, so there are staff changes going on. We can mention those people really quickly, that taking over my responsibility as artistic curator in connection with the musicians, comedians, and artists is our lovely Nerdy here, coming on for our historian project. And to help us with documenting DCN, we have the amazing Biff Tannen, and coming in as a new trainee and to work with event staff, we have lovely Miyuki back there behind the bar. So things are moving rapidly, things are moving quick. We'll see, what the future holds in store. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening. All right, next question here. How can I make my bar a bigger part of Sunset as a whole? This is coming from Tome.
Ooh. I will go ahead and try to answer this one as best I can. You want it, Renee? So, to be a bigger, more well-known bar, it's not just about the numbers. I do enjoy celebrating the numbers with people, but numbers aren't everything. Quality of people's experiences, it goes a much longer way than numbers, because you can have 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 people in your group, but how many of them are actively enjoying your community? Is it just a group that's being spread around, or are people actually coming in? Are they engaging in your events, your own personal Discord community, or maybe you don't run Discord, maybe you're using Right Call, maybe you've got a TeamSpeak 3 up, I don't know, you do you, boo. But it's not about the numbers. It's about how you portray yourself, and we're hoping that in the future, I did not prepare a roadmap for the website, but a lot of you are more than likely acquainted with our website. If not, it is duskview.city is the link. https://duskview.city. If you haven't been, you should go. It's a little feature light if you're not already a Patreon user, but in the future, we're going to be opening it up so that everybody will benefit from being on there. You'll be able to open your bar on a page and actually have an overview for your bar, and that this is going to happen, and people will be able to leave upvotes or something. There's going to be ways for you to be able to engage and show people, hey, I was here last night, I had a great time, I'm going to go give them some thanks, and you'd be able to give them the thanks in the form of a thumbie or something. But it's about building engagements with your community. If people know who you are because you run a good bar, then they're going to talk well about your bar. They're going to come back, and that's what we like seeing. So if you do want to get to more of the forefront of what we consider like advertisable, the largest metric has been, are you running events that are not specifically for your community, but rather for the community as a whole? You are bringing on people who do performances, comedy, music, dance, DJs. Do you want to do a charity? We absolutely advertise charities. This is something that gives not only to the Sunset community, the Duskview City Nights community, but God forbid the entire community on this damn planet. I will absolutely get that posted. So if that's something you want to look down and doing, they work really well. I can give a huge shout out to the Cursed Sarai, for example. I was there for one of their charity events, and I know that they pulled in over $200 from individuals that came to the bar that night. So I'm extremely proud of them. Yes, I'm extremely proud of them for that. So those are things that get advertised. Live entertainment, comedy. You want to do trivia? Let's do it. Get people in there. We're gonna be making it so that room back there that has all the performance posters on it, I'm jumping ahead a little bit to the roadmap here, but it is going to have a calendar, and you will be able to use the website to post events on there. So you will get your bar noticed. The more you engage with our community, the more you want to give back to the community as a whole, you are going to get noticed. And these features are going to be rolling out over the next couple months.
To briefly expand on why I had this question submitted, it's a question I've received a lot over the last week or so, ever since we officially did our first bar partnership with Zultak's No Kids Kingdom bar in a collaboration event with Flirtual. If you have big events like that, big collaboration, or as Lingy said, any major charity event, if you're reputable in the community and you're running one of these, please take it to us. It is part of my role as community ambassador, as you can see above my head, to find you people and have you reach out to me so I can get you more involved in the Sunset. As of now, that's probably the best you can do to get your bar be a bigger part of our community. But as long as was said, as long as you're continuing to be reputable and put together a good experience for anyone coming by, you'll get there eventually. And on top of that, briefly, yet again, I'm going to bring up our Association of Bars project that's coming up. That is another way that you will be able to make your bar a more mainstay part of the Sunset experience.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. All right. So now I'm going to rapid fire a few questions at Rennie over here. Not just because they've been a little bit quieter, but I've got some more logistical questions for them that I would like to ask about.
My body is ready.
Rennie, how is it that the drink system logic and everything doesn't cause any lag for users when they're operating with it? This is a question we've got from Nerdy.
So interestingly enough, the drink machine, get ready for this, it's a lot of math, but it's not complicated math. So all of the drinks themselves start with a base color, and you're choosing that base color when you choose what kind of drink you're putting into it. Is it water-based? So, you know, no cola, no seltzer, no soda. Or do you put one of those in? Beer and the different kinds of liquor also change the base color. And then it's just a bunch of multipliers. When you click on those various color buttons, all you're doing is multiplying the red channel, the green channel, the blue channel worth of color, and then the energy is emissive. Amusingly enough, it's not very complicated math. In fact, putting a bunch of people's usernames on a wall with a bunch of custom name colors as they join and leave the instance is way more complicated than that machine ever will be. Surprisingly.
Fantastic. And from Luna, we've heard that the way that crashers are messing with clients right now is by activating all the Udon triggers in the world at the same time. Is there any way to avoid this?
So there is a maximum bandwidth that you are allowed to send and receive in VR chat. I believe that number is specifically 18 kilobits a second. It might be kilobytes. I don't remember the exact number or metric. I just know that it's very, very small. A client user can send the, for technical reasons, the send custom network event line of code in Unity to target another player's game and tell them to start doing things, even if the code doesn't support it. It has been my goal to add more safeguards to make sure that everything checks to see if it should even be running and things of that sort, so that in the event that you do have, you know, a instruction list of, again, you can only send 18 kilobytes a second, so it's not much. My goal is to, once it's completed, would be to make sure that any of those instructions would just ignore repeat requests over a second or things of that nature. That way, these weird, you know, instances where you get that client comes in and tries to spam all the sounds is finally gone. For the most part, I've mostly secured all of the permission stuff. It's just there are still a couple things with the drinks that probably would require an entire rewrite to get working fully. But it might come down to that, since trays has to be the next thing I work on. So you never know.
Thank you. And last Rennie specific question from an anonymous person, someone who's clearly very attractive and very smart, though. What is this Rennie's pizza machine that all the cool kids are talking about?
I swear. I don't know. If Lingy models me a pizza machine and some pizza, I'll cook it, whatever. Yeah,
That's
guys.
it.
Who wants
That's
pizza?
it.
Show of hands. Show of hands. Right now.
Tomorrow, I will make.
I hate all of you. You raised your hand officially. You're on my hit list. Just make sure that first bite is good, because it's going to be your last. Mostly because you'll be burning the roof of your mouth.
And pineapple does come on pizza too.
All right, continuing on the more lighthearted questions roll of things. So got another lighthearted question for you all. What fictional character from either TV, anime, movies, what have you, video games, do each of you feel you identify with most?
Oh, fuck me, Jeff.
Squall Leonhardt from Final Fantasy VIII, fight me.
You fucking nerd. You fucking nerd. I knew it. I knew that was gonna be your answer.
Oh, Big Mouth, the fucking devil bitch.
I'm gonna say Kakashi Hatake.
I'll let you take one look at my name, and I'll give you one guess. Yeah, Toma Genshin Impact. that was my second. That was my second pick.
Oh, I thought you identified as Macaulay Culkin.
Naruto.
Wait, that's not a fictional character.
Oh god.
What the heck?
What is my character again?
I don't know what character ERPs.
Oh, geez.
You're disgusting. You're disgusting.
She's Rose from
No,
Golden
no, no.
Girls. There's that Rose from Golden Girls.
Reno from
You've made your own fictional character, Rennie.
Oh, I guess if I have to align myself with a fictional character, that's probably the most like me. It's no, I'm not gonna make that joke. I was gonna say Felix Argyle.
What the heck? I'm like over here, I'm thinking. I mean, Toma Genshin Impact, Mashiro Ojiro. I don't fucking. My god.
You
really.
know, there are plenty of different routes to head down with this stuff from my perspective. However, upon learning, as me and Cheese have been in 12-hour-long Discord calls with each other, trying to moderate and mitigate things over the course of the day, which has just been the crackhead energy that we've had for the last week. I literally heard Cheese at one point when referring to someone say along the lines of what Charlie says to Angel Dust of, I don't want to take advantage of your skills in that way. To which I realized that I'm quite literally the Vaggie to his Charlie. So now Cheese has another partner. Well, that's essentially where I'm feeling.
That's cheese! Woo!
Hashtag Jesus with cheese.
I'm formulating an army.
Did it.
Who's the
All right, let me mark.
Yeah.
All right, let me just mark these real quick. Okay,
Be quiet.
we are.
I'm just gonna keep my arm off.
Dish. If cheese isn't on top.
Let's rattle these off rapid fire here, and then we're gonna get to Lingy's roadmap. So, here we go. Popsicle asks, I've always wanted to know when the stage, back room behind the curtain, will be open. I wondered if it'll be a private room for dance performers instead of having that tiny room behind the bar. Maybe even some fun props for people to use on stage. What do we know about the backstage?
You want to know what's really funny? Even I can't go back there anymore. It's gone. It's lost forever. This, if you tuned in about, what was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? This backstage, this route is going bye-bye. It is not used, it is underutilized, it is probably never going to be used. But the point is that as a love letter to all of our performers, everybody who enjoys coming here, you might be privy to the fact that I'm building a second stage. That this stage, the tables, those booths, the poor jukebox, and this wall can be disabled and expand this space into a massive stage going this way. It's going to have a runway, it's going to have some adult toggles, probably, because I know what people like.
Holy shit.
So there's gonna be a poll. I mean, there's already a poll. You just gotta get creative with it, you know. But
Can I shove it on my ass first?
no.
Crazy.
I want to do it before Savia.
My God. So this backstage is going to exist, but further back is the point that I'd like to bring home. It is going to be something that we're hoping to make full feature in the future, where you'll have somebody who can be your stage technician. They'll be able to put their camera in, and there will be camera tracks, and it'll give you nice recording opportunities where you can set up like an automatic mode. It'll filter through specific tracks that you want, things like that. They'll be able to fire off different projectile effects, so you'll be able to do things like, I don't know, pyrotechnics, confetti, sparkles, a bunch of fun stuff. But either way, it's not going to be a strip club. We'll talk. Listen. Order in the court. We will be talking about the ideas of something that is closer akin to a strip club in the future. Not at this very second. But that stage will also cater to about 3 times the like actual seating space, so everybody wouldn't be cramped here. We'd instead be having this conversation out there, where it has, instead of a 90-degree field of vision, it is a full 180 degrees, or should you stand all the way in the middle, it will actually be a full 360-degree experience. 4 quarter booths, 8 tables, 1 moderator table that is something akin to X Factor, America's Got Talent, Your Choice show here.
Secrets! Lady, reveal my secrets!
There will also be, in the future, we do want to cater to the trivia community. If you haven't been to the Parmesan Palace, large shout out, where there will be actually decent space for doing things like trivia out on that stage. So this what you see here is not going to exist very soon. It is going to be going. However, there will be an actually well-defined backstage in the near future as well. That hopefully we will have good features, a nice comfortable environment for performers to get ready. One of the only mirrors in the world, but yeah, it'll be great. By default, this new stage is going to be off by default. So users will not see it unless the management, or if it's a Patreon bar and has it automatically enabled, that will not be visible. So this is also something that we'll be touching base with on the roadmap when we get there.
So to clarify, Lingy, if someone wants to toggle that stage on, do they have to remake the instance, or will it just happen?
Aha! So as with all things, it will not require a remake of the instance. You will actually, it will probably take everybody that is within this area, basically up to the metal walkway. There will be a collider in that area that anybody on this side will get warped to that side, and then it'll change the model. So I've already got most of the pre-work in. All the UV work is basically done. The materialing is okay. I've blocked it out. Now it's about putting in tables, which if you know me, I absolutely hate these tables. I love the Neon Oreo, but that Neon Oreo needs to go. We're getting there.
Neon Oreo.
He didn't mean it, baby. He didn't mean it at all.
All right. Excellent. Coming in from there as well, would there be a possibility from Luna to add in the ability to teleport to players with permissions given?
Alrighty. So, you know what? This is the stage microphone.
Specifically on
Yeah.
the corrective map.
So, yes. So, as some people out there have noticed, I put up a little signpost that says interactive map coming soon. A few people thought that entire square panel was where the rules board was going to be. Honestly, for the longest time, I thought that's where it was going to be. But I just do the programming around these parts, yeah. So, that there interactive map, what our goal with that is going to be is two things. For the bar owner or the bar manager, you're going to be able to choose which sections of the bar are turned off and on, much like you can do already in the experiences panel. Just put it in there for now because we didn't have that map. But what that map does for the other people is, you know, you can come in and there might be like a list of all of the events going on tonight. So you can be like, oh, so there's going to be an event at the stage, so I want to stay around the stage area, make sure I don't miss that. And then, you know, you can see where the congregation of users are in the instance. So you'll get like a 9 on the dance floor, a 27 in the bar, 12 in the private room hallway, you know, things of that nature. The ability to actually teleport to a specific player, on the other hand, is definitely doable. You would click on. I would probably have a button where you could click to request a teleport request from that player. They'd receive a little pop-up on the tablets here, and it would say, so-and-so would like to teleport to you. You can hit yes or no and let them warp directly to you. This is convenient if you happen to be utilizing, say, a private room, once we get the snap points in there for the tablets, of course. I think it's totally doable. It's very easy to do a teleport from to have one user teleport to another user, and yeah, we could also spice it up a little, add some nice teleportation effects. I'm thinking something like for fellow nerds here, Mega Man X, when X and Zero, you know, blink out and blink back in, you know, something like that. I think would be pretty cool. So, definitely yes.
All right, excellent. We'll throw one more fun question, and then we're going to go to the last 2 AMA questions before the roadmap. So, last fun question. If y'all are having a fun night at sunset and whatnot, you know, trying to get to the cheese, say your name multiple times and call you a real one, or get to the Lingy Happy Halloween state, what beverage of choice are you enjoying?
I found my drink of choice lately, and the one that gets me drunk the fastest, to where I'm giving everyone the "you're a real one" / stop moving talk, is Four Locos, particularly the fruit punch Four Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know.
My preferred drink is whatever happens to be, you know, available. Yeah.
My go-to a lot has been the red, white, and berry Smirnoff vodka. It said it was limited time only, but they fucking lied.
Oh boy.
Hi.
It depends on what the intentions for the night are. If we're just trying to have a good time and party, the shots are coming out, baby. I'm talking Fireball, I'm talking Jameson, I'm talking whatever shots you got, we're doing them. If we're looking for something a little more casual, a little more low-key, I might slow down a bit, maybe a glass of whiskey or something like that. Take my time with it, but shots, baby, you know it.
And for me, I have this shit down to a science now. I've got my 40-ounce Stanley tumbler I'm holding in my hand right now that I fill with Caribbean rum and Diet Coke. And I just mainline that for the course of the evening. All right, going to our last two AMA questions here.
Super savvy.
Yes, exactly. Makes it easier for me. All right, last two questions here from Tom Malone. Who is in charge of safety and trust over at DCN?
It's kind of a group thing, right?
That's a fun question because it depends on what sort of situation happens. If people are at, this comes back to, hey, do we moderate whether or not you're having an NSFW instance? The answer is no. We don't care what you do in your instance because my hand just died.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh no.
Hold on.
You can do it.
You got this, fam. Believe in yourself.
Survive through it. Survive through
We
it.
super believe in you.
Oh,
Everyone, lend Lingy your energy.
yeah, I'm
You're throwing your ass in a circle.
Needs a battery.
Who? All right. You take a survey. Who here has telekinesis? Raise Lingy's hand.
All right, we're back.
I did it.
All of us, let's go.
Oh my god.
All right, sorry about that. All right, so trust and safety is not something that we really have the grounds to handle, I think is the point that I'm trying to make. So, yeah, we care what's going on in your instance. If you're doing something illegal, we don't want it happening. If we catch it, we would be the ones reporting it, and we would ask that everybody else would do their due diligence and do the same thing. We want to make sure that everybody's having a good, enjoyable experience on VR chat. And yes, that means if people are being a little rowdier and throwing around a couple words that you don't like, in an instance, if they're all having fun, you don't have to be there. That's what VR chat's going to tell you, and they might take action. It just depends on what they're saying. If it's a bunch of neo-Nazis, yeah, they'll probably take action. Because we beat them once, we'll beat them again, I guess. But the fact of the matter is that there's only so much that we're equipped to do, and if we do try to take action ourselves, we're actually infringing on VR chat's terms and service ourselves. That, at the end of the day, there's not much we can do. We can moderate our Discord community, and we can try to do our best to make sure that we're promoting good experiences amongst the community. We're rooting out the bad apples, and we're trying to get the visibility on anybody who's, not good for the community. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's tough. We've been offered solutions. There have been conversations that we've had. I won't deny on that. There could be things in the pipeline for this that, as a world creator, as a community rallied behind a map, that we might have these options in our future. Maybe closer than we might think. But for the time being, trust and safety, if we can moderate the Discord.
And I do think it is important to note, we've said multiple times, we aren't there to moderate your instance, but we do know what's going on. We have people letting us know if there is an issue going on, and even if we can't take direct action, should there be something serious enough to the degree where we would need to get VR chat's moderation involved, we will not hesitate to send those kind of reports into VR chat. So just because you think we don't see it doesn't mean we don't know.
All right, excellent. Thank you. And last question, fittingly going to the twins here. Is there anything, this is from Chanzo, has there been something, any feature or thing you wanted to do with the world that you were excited about that was a fantastic idea but turned out to be impossible or otherwise incredibly difficult and just not in the works of what you can make happen?
Ooh. I don't think we've shelved anything yet. It's just we haven't worked on it.
Well, there are admittedly a few things that when we approach the roadmap, I haven't shown anybody phase 3 yet, but there are a few things that I am looking to shelve that either because of the usability or just kind of how the vision has expanded as we've gone along, things are going to change. I've talked about the stage, for example, but really we've approached things fully understanding that if we don't know every single, like, if we don't grasp every single thing about what we're going to do about it, we are in a position that it's something we can learn. Things to do with modeling, I can check a YouTube tutorial. So I have not run into something yet that has stumped me or otherwise just not been feasible.
Well, to that end, actually, I'm going to ask you, what about the Sundown Lounge?
And my response to that is wait for the roadmap. Phase 3.
Right. As for me, features, yeah, so far it's, anything that has gravity likes to mess with me. In case anybody wants to know why all of the drinks are floating above the bar, it's because I can't turn off their gravity. Once they have gravity, I'm not allowed to turn it on and off. Like, there's a checkbox for it and everything. You change it, it doesn't care. It's just like, no, gravity's on, sorry. So we kind of just store everything up there for the time being while it's not being utilized. So that's one of the things that has stumped me. I need to find a new way, either manually write gravity itself or something to handle those drinks, because yeah, gravity is one of the issues that I've been having trouble with. I wanted to make it so that the menus, for example, you could pin them so that they would have no gravity, and instead the only thing I could do for the time being was to turn on a parent constraint where it just locks itself in place, but you can still twist it. It's kind of wild, actually, and it also doesn't work very well. So that's basically it for me. Any Unity devs out there who can help me figure out why a rigid body component won't let me turn on and off gravity at runtime in VR chat, do hit me up. That's really it from me, though.
Really, my partner can help you.
What?
Alrighty. Thank you all so much. That goes for all the questions we have in the AMA list. From there, we will be opening to open-ended questions in just a short while, but before we do, we're going to give the floor over to Lingy to go over the roadmap. And any questions that I've accumulated that are considered roadmap questions, if Lingy does not cover them, we will ask them following this as well.
So before we begin this segment, I guess we can take a small bathroom break. If anybody wants to go to the bathroom, now's the time. For everybody else, if you do not see one of those menus on your table, we do have the bullet points of the roadmap available for everybody to see. I do want to see one menu per table. So if you don't have one of those, ask around. We will get those distributed. And we will begin this again in about 3-4 minutes.
Just have me do a Sinatra song or something. Little intermission music.
No.
My partner can help if you need help with coding. He's like,
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Well, the thing is, I need to know why
How hard is it to control V or control C, control V a few more menus because we are short? Because I think there's like 5 of them and there's just like no tables or whatever.
They've done stuff with like GTA.
Are you talking about adding more menus in?
Don't worry about that. No.
We were actually going to double it.
I don't know.
Really, I got you. I got STEM VR people who know Udon coding and know Unity shit. Like I can.
Yeah, but like the thing that I'm having trouble with is why doesn't it let me turn on and off the gravity?
After I need
So the way that Unity works is once yeah, it's not like it like the way it works in a world.
I steal you and you
from how
after
it works
this.
in an Avatar. In an Avatar, you can change gravity, you can turn it on and off. With Unity, like with the worlds how they are right now, as soon as you turn on gravity of an object, you either have to delete that object and replace it if you want no gravity, or
So I usually try to
somehow the Unity gods somehow bless you with the ability to turn it on because it's just the way that worlds work. We've had the same issue in the STEM VR world. I can hit up my buddy Astro Rabbit who does a bit of world dev, and some of the Trek people that I know. My wife does world dev as well, so she can. I'll poke people for you. I got you. I have resources.
Yeah, that is definitely one thing I'd love to. I am gonna have that bathroom break. That's recommended.
Have a good ideas, but I don't think you'll like them honestly.
Daddy, my question is, when are we gonna swap out that poster so you don't get bothered by people?
Yes, sorry. So much shit going on the last couple of days. It'll get done as soon as I can.
Breathe. Breathe.
Your voice.
Breathe.
Right.
Don't overwork yourself.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna be going into it here in a bit.
We're gonna talk about all of that in like 2 minutes. Trust me, that is a big idea that people have been talking about.
This is going extremely well. I really appreciate everybody's attendance tonight.
No, we appreciate you, Lingy.
It's done.
It is done.
Big love. So we're going to be doing a live Q&A after I go through the roadmap. We're just taking a small bathroom break.
About banning Fall Guys because the
Okay.
and I asked them why.
I think everyone's done a good job of answering so far instead of it being just pinned on
Toma.
I definitely gone a little bit more in
My
depth.
question for you is, you're 20. The fuck are you doing drinking?
Reason for you.
Hey, look, if I travel with a band, you think I'm not going to be drinking? Hell no.
Okay, listen, I don't want to pull the nanny card, but you're making me want to add it back to my name.
Hold on now. Look, how about this? Sometimes I do shows in Canada, right? I'm legal to drink in Canada.
Savvy people can't hear you talking if you're using the global mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be commencing the roadmap section of our AMA here in just a little bit. Please return to your seats when you are ready. And again, if you do not have one of those menus on your table, if you'd like to find one, there are 2 on that table.
Oh, I want to see this. Oh no, the gravity of the menu. The gravity of the menu.
I'm Canadian in spirit, so I'm legally allowed to drink.
Hold on, I got it. It's slowly, slowly moving.
You might want to fix that real quick, ready?
What? Fix what?
The menu. Did you toggle it?
Sorry. It was hitting the collider.
What's wrong with that?
The menu was floating because of the...
No, I just said that when...
Okay.
As a heads up, Cheese, I am leaving desktop.
I might take this intermission to go switch over to desktop.
No worries.
Okay, go ahead.
You're welcome to start the roadmap without me if you need to, but just know I am switching to desktop.
Yeah, Lingy's taking the road, or taking the reins here.
Sorry, I keep
You're the
You're the one that knows the red map best. We all have pieces.
Let me pin this in for myself.
Oh, I put a thing in the chat that I found on Gumroad. I think it'd be a cool thing for the world.
Alright, I got my roadmap pinned.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead and fire up the announcement. Might want to use the manager mic for this one.
All right, everyone. If you could come gather back around the stage, and if we could have everyone cut the chatter down, we are going to be starting the roadmap. Lingy is going to be laying out the roadmap of Sunset Bar we are currently in, and the roadmap for DCN and Duskview City as a whole. So I hope you guys are ready to listen to all of this. Lingy, you may take the stage.
Well, specifically, this roadmap is for Sunset. This one is going to be about the Sunset Bar in general. So, what I have for you is what we plan on doing in 2024, hopefully within the next few months even. That's not exactly what we're hoping to promise, but it could happen, just depending. What you see on that Phase 1 roadmap is what a lot of you already know is what we've been promising for a while now. In fact, some of those items have been promised since December, and I apologize that we haven't gotten to them yet. So, there is obviously the drink trays, the drink coasters, and the drink pitchers. That's the ones that people are most familiar with. If you don't know, yes, those trays over there by the sink are supposed to work. We're hoping to make that the next thing that functionally works in World, because it is going to be used for a whole breadth of use cases. We want to make the memory vault, for example. We want to make that have more seating so that you can have more seating off of the main. There's even talks about other seating areas down in the private room hallway tray and the storage room. We'll get to those. Drink trays, we're going to be doing as a twofold step. We are most likely going to be increasing the max limit of drinks in instance from 20 to either 30 or even somewhere up to 50, 60, just depending if the bandwidth allows it. If object sinks get a little too crazy, we'd have to trim the number, but with Udon 2 coming up, there is a pretty high degree of certainty that we will be able to raise the number of drinks allowed. Drink trays are going to improve, I would say probably desktop users, their experience the most. Just standalone desktop VR chat, because you can only carry one thing at a time, and we don't have any other robust system that allows you to carry 2 or more drinks at a time. Those drink trays would allow you to carry 10 drinks at a time. For VR users, you would be able to hold a tray and then also then be able to, say, interact with doors, or perhaps hold 2 trays. I wonder why you would want to do that. Wouldn't you need a hand to open doors? Well, surprise! Also with the trays, and not documented on here, we do want to make it so that the doors have some sort of automatic function for players in the future as well. If you're a desktop user and you approach a door, it should open automatically. If you are a VR user and you wave your hand in front of the little swipey bit, the emissive part, where I guess you could say the door handle would be, it will actually open the door for you. Or you can turn on the automatic mode like the PC users would have as well. Just as well, if you do not like automated doors and you want them to be click only, you'd also have that option as well. Drink coasters are something that we've talked about for a long time because the advent of people stealing drinks, it's always happened at Midnight Bar. There's no stopping it. Somebody's going to come in and they're going to act a fool in front of everybody. They're going to drink everybody's drink. And then maybe the instance moderators will be able to catch them in time? Probably not. It happens way too frequently. Drink coasters are something that we want to give to the community as a means of protecting users' drinks so that you can mitigate these sorts of issues going forward. Drink coasters, the only people that can put or pull drinks off of them will be the management staff, the bartending staff, and the person that the coaster is coded to. So that PC back there by the drink machine, that one is going to change into, just like the rest of the options panels, it is going to have access to the bartending tab, and the bartending tab is going to have the ability to create these coasters. When you select a user, click spawn coaster, it will give that coded coaster and allow you to put it wherever you need to. The user who owns the coaster can move it, and then management and bartending staff will also be able to move them. In order to facilitate better and faster and perhaps more realistic bar experiences as well, we're going to be putting in drink pitchers. This has been a long-standing thing where you don't see them these days. We turned them off just because they weren't functionally doing anything. But there are drink pitchers that used to sit on the pegs over there next to the sink. We want pitchers to be available so that you can either display drinks that you pour on the regular, so you can be like, oh, that's some of our sunset brew, or that's some of our sundown delicacy, or whatever you want to call it at the time. You'll see a live pouring system where you're able to pour out the drink into other glasses and top people off. Or if you're so inclined, you can make it so that pitchers can be interacted with anybody and they can actually pour their own drinks if the pitcher is provided to them. These 3 things are going to be our main focus points going forward, because these are going to be the things that empower bars the most. The major reason for this is because of also the private rooms are going to be completed. That's something that I'm going to be personally focusing on. There is some features missing, and we absolutely want to make it so that if you're enjoying your time in one of those private rooms, that it's homey. You can have a good experience in there. You can sit down and have a drink. It doesn't just have to be about, I guess, what people think happened in the private rooms. If you need a personal space, you can get that personal space. Specifically, the Patreon private rooms, I've kind of let people down on. There are a lot of things that need to be improved, need to be boosted. The hot tubs are still frozen, and, we're in spring now. So, that said, what you do not see on that list is the drink garnishes, and I did forget to put that one on there, and I just realized that because here I am sitting here, and I was pointing over there, and I'm like, wait a second, I didn't put drink garnishes on there. The drink garnishes, that refrigerator is going to go bye-bye. It's going to be replaced with something that actually opens like a chest, and you'll be able to get skewers, fruit slices, and other garnishes that you'll be able to put into glasses, drape on glasses, all that sort of stuff. You will be able to make very, very, very custom-tailored drinks. Martinis, very fancy cocktails, nice pina coladas. It's going to be great. Those 5 items are the things that we're going to be completing, and we're going to consider phase 1 completed. So,
what about these signs that are in the back warehouse area then, as well?
those should be coming a lot sooner. So those A-frame signs, we just need the image hooks, and you'll be able to actually display images on those. Those will be open to everybody. You don't have to be a Patreon bar for those. But there are 3 sets of 3, where if you want to advertise, let's say you've got somebody performing at your bar, and you've got promotionals for them. If you want to advertise that you have an event in the back, and you literally just want to put arrows going through the instance pointing people where to go, you'd be able to do that. If you want to put, say, your group, you run maybe like a group coffee or a Patreon, and you're just looking for general admittance where you're giving your own features to your own VIPs, you can do that. By the way, I will answer this because I just brought it up. If you want to run your own Patreon for your bar, that is totally legitimate. You should be doing that. If you want your crowd, your group to help fund your bar, totally legitimate. This has been asked to me a lot. Do it. There are a lot of helpful people out there that want to make sure what you're doing will grow because they like what you can provide. So I know that I personally, I didn't want to launch the Patreon back in December. I thought, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to want this. Get that thought out of your head. You have to empower yourself. So that is our phase 1. Those 6 items. Thank you, Cheese, and thank you, Lingy's eyeballs, for remembering about the drink garnishes. I also would like to take this moment to also address something that was brought up yesterday that a lot of people thought, maybe this would be a good time to talk about it. I'm also looking at the sink back there, and there has been this general consensus that the sink is more... it's better performance to throw drinks into the sink than rather onto the floor. They are the same system. They use the same code. They're both in the same code entry. If somebody is experiencing drinks that are causing lag because they went into the floor, they would be doing the same thing if they went into the sink. So, just wanted to clear that up for everybody. Now, with that said, Savvy, if I could get phase 2? Do I have any direct questions about phase 1? I would not mind answering those right now.
Oh shit, I forgot to record that. Just hold that concern for a little bit.
I didn't think we were age monitoring.
Yeah. We've talked about some public applications.
You're cutting in and out.
Oh,
yeah, we're not age
I do have one question.
Yeah, I hear nerdy out front age verifying.
For the security room, are we making it any bigger, or are we keeping it as it is?
I'm not usually security, but I heard
So the security room and the staff room... The security room and the staff room, these are 2 things that I'm going to be working on. Those are actually in phase 2.
Okay.
I did not put serious bullet points for those either, but they are things that are going to be coming up.
Alright, thank you.
I will go ahead and address those with phase 2. Yes.
Will the jail system be fixed? Because in most instances, the jail system does not work.
So the jail system does work. The only people that can actually use the jail are general managers and assistant managers, and Rini is fully aware that it does not say that anywhere. So you must be management to use the jail system. This was coded like this intentionally because we were worried about the use case of people that just got the security flag and just decided to start jailing the whole instance. We've seen a rise of TikToks of people getting access to security in instances and then dumpstering everybody. This is something that it's something that we didn't want to see, but we've reached that point. So there are people doing the funny and then recording it and putting it live. So when Savvy gets back, we will be approaching phase 2.
Not doing anything.
Yeah. Make sure you're hang on, I'll get it.
You say paste it into this enter text, right? And here, paste the URL and then hit OK.
So the direct link that I gave you is probably not good.
I've been using Imgur lately. I've actually been getting it to work.
I couldn't get mine
You
to
couldn't
upload.
get
It kept
Imgur,
forwarding my
yeah.
page.
If you give me the image, I could probably upload it for you.
Hang on. Could you give me a name?
Just us two. Cosmo.
Did that work?
No.
Fuck. Apologies.
Inappropriate to go up to somebody and say, so and so told me that you're doing X, Y, Z. We go up to them, we vibe check them, and that is.
I got a little smaller.
Never, ever.
So I don't get in the way.
I have Officer Earl too.
Nah, bro.
Oh, hey, Cal.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna try Imager again, honestly.
I would say focus on going over the roadmap right now. We'll try to make that a thing for the next AMA bar.
Somebody
Give me 2 seconds.
I mean, that's not hard to do. If you think about it.
Did you break the TV to save it for one of your science experiments, Clint?
Alright, did that update? It updated, let's go. Okay. Beautiful.
Hey.
Alright.
Hey, can I point something out real quick?
Yes.
Let me see the mic. I wanted to point out to everybody in the instance right now, by the way, welcome to the new version of VRChat. You can now close group instances from the UI. I am watching it now, actually. Yes.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, you go to the world tab of the world you're currently in the big menu, and then in the actions area, if you have the group permission, you can actually close an instance. Nobody else can join, but it doesn't boot people. So they'll whoever's in it can stay in it. So yeah. But that's
I just had
awesome.
one more question.
That is useful.
Yes.
That is.
What's with in the security room? What's with like the big screens and like the buttons? Will that be like a security? Like with
So that is actually going to be a security camera system. We're not sure if it's going to get like proper utilization. There's gonna not be anything better than actually just moving around on the floor. Moving audio from one position to another, the way we're doing it is kind of gross, but it's the only way we're allowed to. You cannot change somebody's audio source and where it projects from, so you have to change the near and far distance. That's why the microphones will sound pretty garbled as soon as they get out further. So that security room is going to be functional in the future. You will be able to look around, but we're trying to also limit the idea of people just watching people, stalker-like behavior, voyeurism. We don't want to accidentally empower people that are actively watching people and doing it for malicious reasons. So it is going to be available in the near future, but it's a little lower on the totem pole of things we're going to be working on. I've brought up Phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be a few things that we've addressed and a few things that I've hinted on for the night. The first point of contention is Stage 2.0. This is something that I'm going to be opening up to my trusted performance bars as sort of like a beta test. They'll have first access to it, and then we're going to be rolling it out to everybody else as soon as it's finished. Stage 2.0 is going to be massive. It is 3 times the size, 3 times the capacity. It has a stage that has a 180-degree field of view. It has a runway. It will have a center area that will have a 360-degree view. It is going to have one of the first fully sanctioned VIP sections in it, where it utilizes the world's VIP system. There are going to be 2 flanking balconies on the left and the right that are going to be watching down upon the stage that will be accessible by default to VIPs in the instance. You'll have full control over it, so if you want more people going up, you'll be able to choose that. But it is designed to be something that can be useful for those who are assigning VIPs. That stage is going to have even more features than what we have for this current stage. We're hoping to have camera controls, particle controls, lighting controls. It's going to be a wonderful workshop. We're going to spend some time on it. So
Let's go.
It's going to also feature a lot of different usability cases. We want to make it so that it's useful for talent shows, I guess, but also for things like trivia. So we're hoping to provide that as well. The next bullet point, perhaps. So the next bullet point is going to be the removal and reintroduction of our comfort rooms. So for the longest time, we've had the cat and the dog room. They've gone nowhere. They really haven't really do anything. I really haven't had much point to work on them. They were a fun gag in the beginning, but in reality, they don't really get much use. What we're going to do is I'm actually going to tear them out and reuse their space for something else. It is my goal to get those included as prefabs for the private rooms, and we'll talk about that more here soon. Yes, the trampoline will stay, but in a different form, and you'll understand when we get there. So, let's get to the next bullet point. This is the big point. For phase 2. I want to recreate the space that's used for the cat and dog rooms and create another sort of low-key, more backroom private area for people to enjoy their drinks at and get more exclusive service at. So it's another idea to try to make, say, the backroom hallway, the private room hallway, as more of a VIP experience. It's secluded, it's away from people, it's away from the noise. The idea is it could have its own bar even, because there is a lot of space back there if we take those rooms out and reassign it. It would make sense to have a bar back there so that we can actually move drinks to the private rooms. So if you want to let a bartender in and out because they have your drinks, they'll be able to come in and out of your room. This will be something that we can have going forward. So that area as well, it's going to be a little bit more upscale than what you see out here. It's going to have some of the designs that the walls have in the back, for example. So removal of the cat and dog room, it's going to be smart. The final bullet point is the point that I made with the comfort rooms. We're going to make it so that the current private rooms turn into prefabs. If there's nobody in a private room, you'll be able to go through the list, the menu outside the door, and you'll actually be able to choose which prefab you want to open. And then once you do, you become that private room's master. You'll actually get management features over that room, much like a manager would get for opening the bar. So you'll have first access as to who is allowed to come in and out of the room. You'll be able to choose, is somebody also allowed to assign whether or not somebody can come in and out of the room. You'll be able to choose the room's options, like, is this room, do you want the intercom to be allowed to be pressed or not? Do you want it to be voice only, or will you allow picture? It'll have these sorts of features. And then you'll also be able to choose some of the more design things. We want to make it so that those windows are sort of opened up so you can actually choose an environment outside of them. You can toggle ASMR sounds, so the air conditioner, rain, the ceiling fans, stuff like that. And of course, maybe make the tub functional in the future, maybe. The cat and dog room would both become prefabs that you can open up. So we want these nice, comfortable spaces to get used for something. So those rooms will also be in the list of prefabs, plus the current Patreon private room, and the more deluxe one that I want to make for the Neon Purple tier. Those will also be prefabs that those Patreon tiers will be able to open up. More private rooms will be available in the future. Yes, more private rooms will be available in the future, and more prefabs will be available in the future. That's definitely on our roadmap as well.
Let's go.
On the phone.
Nice.
So with that said, let me open that up. Now, are there any questions anybody has specifically about phase 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Over here, the sloth.
I heard over here first. Yes.
Yes. Can we make the comfort rooms like a back poker room, in an alcove where we got a bouncer sitting out there watching? You sit back there, smoke cigarettes. You got Texas Hold'em going on. It's a very inclusive and interactive thing.
This is an absolutely excellent idea, because once upon a time we did talk about setting up Texas Hold'em or Blackjack as table games in here. That would be something something that you could load as a prefab, and then let in people as you specifically want them. That's not a bad idea. I will write that one down.
I do have a question as far as like what you were saying about the doing like a separate bar back there. Would there be a possibility with like the farther back by the stage of doing like a second bar? Not just for like the private rooms, but like
this has been a question that's come up a whole bunch. There are actually other locations in the world that we want to make it so that the bar. So this the lineup on the back of the bar is actually going to teleport where you need it locally, and then you'd be able to serve drinks at wherever it teleports for you. So locally, it'll know, hey, my machine, my drop points, my trays, they're back there. Wherever they need to be. There's going to be one for the club. We've approached the idea for one for the back room with the private rooms. There's also been one that has been decided that we might do for the theater upstairs. That room upstairs might not survive. I might actually axe it. It just depends. But there are going to be different spots where the bar will appear that you'll be able to pour drinks. This is something that, well, so not the upstairs of the club, but specifically the upstairs, that ramp from the bathroom hallway to the second floor of the club area. So.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes.
What if we have access to those movies in the private rooms? Like copy and paste URLs. Is that possible?
So
the second video player.
Private rooms, what we're hoping for is, instead, you don't even need a second video player. You just need a way to detach it so that users get synchronized with whatever video is being played in which area. We can actually run a single video player and have it so that each of the private rooms actually play their own video that you synchronize with whatever room you're going into. This is something that we're looking into doing in the future.
Yeah, I got more.
I might write my own video player to do that, honestly.
Do finish the roadmap before we answer questions.
Okay. We're answering phase 2. Cal.
Okay. I really like the look of the dance floor. I think it looks really cool, but I don't see it used that much. Is there like an idea?
There's so many people coming here.
Phase 3.
An idea to like. Oh, right.
Yep, phase 3. All right, I saw one more hand over here. We're gonna take that, and then we're gonna move on.
I'm just standing out there and letting people know as they come in.
I'll get it for you.
Figure why not?
Expanding this bar area and making the map more open for.
That's what stage 2.0 is going to effectively do. It's going to make it so that this area is going to open up very widely, and you're going to have a lot of table seating. Cyber, I saw your hand as well.
Hey man, so as you were mentioning, the bartenders would have access to the rooms. How do we know there's a bartender at our door though? Like when the door is closed, like is there gonna be an optional doorbell for us?
Didn't they say something about a alert of some sort?
You want me to handle
like
that
an audible alert?
You got it.
It tells them they got like 30 seconds.
So so my goal is later down the road to make it so that staff members can enter the private rooms. What they're going to be able to do is they'll push a button outside and we'll say on the panel inside the room. Of course, once we get the panels inside the room, so and so is going to be entering the room, and then it'll give a countdown timer. Of course, if they have drinks, they'll bring those with them as well. It probably will mention what role they are so that you know, oh hey, it's the bartender, not the security. And of course, there's also, there's actually a lot of ways we could do it. We might also make it so that it might say so-and-so bartender would like access to your room. You could just hit accept and then they can just come in and out as they please. There's a few ways we could tool it.
All right, with that said, I've gone ahead and loaded phase 3 now on everybody's menu. So phase 3, I've got some pretty more longer term. Some pretty longer term goals that we're hoping to do. A lot of these involve website integration, but we're gonna go through it piece by piece. The Sundown Lounge is either going to be removed or completely retooled. It, as mentioned here in the center, it is very widely underutilized. It was created as a sort of spur of the moment thing. When we first opened up back in August of last year, we had caught the attention of the DJ community, and a lot of DJs were actually trying to get people to perform out here. We did see a lot of success, but not very much overall traction going forward. It was kind of one and done. A lot of people just wanted to get a feel, and they liked it, but there just wasn't people coming out for it. So once we had the big bar explosion with November and December, we just redoubled our efforts to focus on the bar side of things. One of the things that well, so that I might disappoint, that whole back area, the Sundown Lounge, the club area, we might be removing that because it has a lack of utilization. But it does not come without a little bit of some foresight on our behalf. Duskview City is a city. If you understand what I mean with that, cool. If not, follow me on this. Sunset is not the only place in Duskview City. It is fully my desire to inevitably, and somebody was talking about strip clubs. We have a full list of different maps we want to create that involve Duskview City and its theming with the technology of the Sunset Bar, the security, the drink making system, the permission system for staff members, the different imagery and off-site loading. We are going to be providing different experiences in different venues for different people. I do not want to axe the Sundown Lounge until we have a proper replacement map for it. When I actually create a proper DJ club to replace that. So that piece will remain in service until that time, in which case we do end up removing it.
So open up like opportunities for new types of events for certain bartenders that like to kind of put variety into the events.
Very definitely.
They can have like bar events, and then later down the line be like, oh hey, by the way, now we're gonna run a club event for a change.
Yes. So we want to give everybody the ability to open up in whatever instances they want. When we build them, people will be able to access them and use what they have. So expect the Sundown Lounge to stay until we have that replacement. I don't like axing content without providing something in turn for it. So
that's a good practice. That's a good practice I can get behind.
Yes. Now, for the rest of the bullet points, these are things that are going to be doing integrations with our website. Again, if you're not familiar with the website somehow, https://duskview.city. It is a little feature light for those who are not a Patreon supporter at this time. However, we are going to be opening up features as time goes on for those who are free users, which includes being able to actually have a bar landing page, as well as things like a wiki page for... I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go down the bullet points first. So first things first, I'm going to be talking about these three rooms on the way to the, we're going to be going in order, this hallway to the private room hallway. The first room is the memory vault. So the memory vault, it has not much usability right now. It has a fun table. It has a couple of couches. It can be a little comfortable. Order, guys, if you don't mind. It has a few spots where you can sit down and enjoy yourself, but not too much. I want to reinvent that room. All right.
Thank you.
I want to reinvent that room because it doesn't serve much purpose right now. It will in the future. It's going to have an entire wall. Instead of pictures, it is going to have the ability to open up different image collages that people submit to the website. You'll be able to submit personal, public, and unlisted collections that you share with other users that are also allowed to open them, and be able to tell stories and revisit old experiences in that room. You'll be able to browse other public collections, including different DCN events that we have photography at, different images. You'll be able to actually search by user. So we have 2 official photographers right now. One of them who was in here a little bit ago, Eternal NA, and then Chanzo, who actually asked one of our questions tonight. You'll be able to say browse their sets, or if you know a specific user that you'd like to see and they have public collections available, you would be able to browse their sets. That room should see a lot more use, and we're going to redesign it so that it actually works more for viewability, so that you'll be able to see the screen and enjoy a drink. Maybe somebody is telling you about the good times, or maybe you're just going through a random, like you just wanted to randomly go through and show you good images of people having fun or something, while having the drinking experience that you want to have. That's going to be what the memory vault turns into. Just as well, the DDR machine, that is going to be a photo booth in the future. It's going to have controls, so if you want to add branding or different background effects, that kind of stuff is going to be available to you. So.
No way, thank you.
The next room. The next room is the calendar room. Now, we call it the calendar room despite it not having a calendar yet. The whole point of that room there is going to be that it has access to an interactive calendar that will actually read the website. That it's going to show you, you'll be able to select a different day, and it will then tell you everything that's happening on that day. And then if you select one of those happenings, it'll give you image promotional, name of the event, who's hosting it, when, where, why, what you should expect, if there are any requirements such as validation is absolutely required, or medium quality avatars are a must, whatever they want to put as requirements, they'd be able to put down. So, the calendar room is going to open up. We've sort of limited the amount of different things that people have been able to put up in there. Like I said, we've curated different promotionals for events that include things like trivia, live performances, and charities. We do want to open it up so that you'll be able to put whatever promotional material you'd like in there, provided that somebody's going through each of the different calendar entries and finds your event. We want to also sanction certain events, so there is going to be a way to have specifically sponsored events through us that you will still be able to get a more personalized poster somewhere in the world that go through those sanctioned events. That is still going to exist, but there's going to be a way to getting those, and it's going to be a little bit more automatic than what it is currently. So, that calendar room is going to, it's going to be the timeline for everybody. There is a website known as Timeline that's available for VR chat, but it's mostly for the music and DJ communities at large. It's not something that I think bartenders and bars themselves would get much use out of. We're basically looking to create our own system for that. So if you want to switch to a bar open visibility, one of the things that we want to make happen is that bars will be able to put their 7-day calendar up on the website, so their times of when they're open, you'd be able to get that information into the world. So
cool.
Bars that engage with us should get that visibility.
Sorry, let's go.
Finally, on our bullet points here is the lore room. It's that big empty room in the T-junction that connects to the current Sundown Lounge. That room doesn't do very much right now. It has the Patreon wall, which needs to be fixed. We've seen it too, trust me. It also has a nice little collage of the 4 map creators, as you see out front, but in more of a Foursquare version. But that room is going to be something special. It's going to be catering to and providing access to the in-universe lore of what is Duskview City. It's going to have entries like this poster here next to the Goofy Rindo. But instead, it's not just going to be one little piece. It's not just going to be one little piece of information. You're going to be able to go through a lot of different things, different events that led to what created the city. So we're going to have some story writers that are adding in on this. One of the things that we want to give back to the community, however, I think this one is going to be more impressive to a lot of people, is that we want to make it so that you can browse the different bars that have ever existed in Duskview City and Sunset Bar. The different groups will be able to put essentially Wikipedia entries. We're wanting to open a wiki on the website. That wiki, you're going to be able to put a description for your bar, and then, if you are so inclined, a in-universe, in-canon version of your bar and how it fits into Duskview City. So once we have the lore available, that kind of stuff is going to start becoming available. So if you want to get involved and interested in that, go for it. That's going to be something that's going to be super fun. This is going to be completely our website hallway. And it's going to be great when we get all that stuff out. You're going to see a lot more engagement because you're going to be able to post, just to break down through the list again, you'll be able to post photos as an individual or as a bar. So if you want your bar to feature your bar's screenshots in there and get more people invested in your bar because they want to get on your wall, you are fully within your realm to do that. We're going to have the calendar room so that you can post your events. If it's your bar, it will post your events first. And then users will be able to see other events too. So anything that happens in Sunset, people will have full realm of knowing in there. And then finally, of course, the lore room. You'll have your bar's lore, your in-universe lore, and then you'll be able to browse other bars. This is something that's going to be a little bit further down the road, but just depending on with the website and how we're going with things, some of those things might become available a little faster. So Phase 3 should be pretty exciting. Any questions about that one?
Thank you.
Hey, Lingy, I got a question.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, I heard you guys are working on some apartments upcoming here. How far along are you guys?
Oh, geez. Okay, so there is a, and you'll have to excuse me, my other battery just died, so I gotta replace that real quick.
Here, I got a battery for you.
Yeet him your battery.
Alright, so a few people here might be acquainted. Andy Crash, damn it! Okay, so I'm still gonna answer the question though. There is still an interest in the idea of what is known as the 5th floor. This was an old pet name project for private rooms and things that were 5 stories up. We are interested in inevitably doing something like other communities have in VR chat, like the VRU Oasis and other such locations, where we are actually going to rent out spaces and let people rent those, and you would actually have a different starting point. You'd be able to bring people up to those no matter what instance you're in. It would be for you, and hopefully we would have the tools to make the space your own. So we're gonna sometime down the road investigate like being able to build the room yourself so you can lay it out, get props for it. We want to use things like VRChat's persistence system, which has been it's not just rumors anymore, it's going to closed beta. We want to use the persistence system, for example, to maybe perhaps make it so that you can, I don't know, generate income in the world by doing things, working at a bar, doing management things. You literally...
It's only one instance. It will
I know, and it's... They did say they might investigate world-to-world communication and transfers, but at least while you're in this instance, we would be able to persist data, and then... See, there is a question about this, and I think what Tome is talking about would go well into, I guess, Phase 4. Phase 4 is things that I want to do after Sunset. So I do want to complete what you saw, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, plus the additional things we talked about. And at that point, I'll feel like this world is complete. I will always find ways to improve it, but there are a lot of other world projects that I want to tackle, and an entire city that I want to tackle. So, the Sunset Bar is the first of many. I want to make something that is akin to FBT Heaven, but Quest compatible, because there are more Quest full body users than there are PC these days. I think that would be really helpful to people. I want to create some sort of DJ music mixer style club. I want to create some kind of... I do actually want to make a smaller scale bar one of these days for those who are looking for a smaller bar, for example. Should I be Yes. And then to some of our friends who are more akin to the service industry, there is the idea of a hotel and casino in the future as well. These are definitely things that we've identified as projects that we are going to definitely tackle. Yes, and with real working table games. I'm talking roulette, slots. Connect 4 is not a casino game. I would do things like baccarat or craps, roulette.
Hey, Lingy, can we move the rest of the Phase 3 questions into the open Q&A now, please?
We will do that. So
perfect. All right, everybody. Oh. Go ahead. All right. Real quick. All right, everybody. We are going to transition over to the open Q&A. The way this is going to work is you are going to raise your hand, at which point Cheese over here is going to be moderating the Q&A for the rest of it. So I'm going to hand it over to him.
I don't have hands.
You're going to raise your hand, and we're going to go from there.
I don't have hands.
Or if you don't have a hand, put something in your text. Put a question mark in your text checkbox. So we know you have a question.
All right, then with the one right here in the front, then would you like to ask the group your question?
I gotta get a bike.
Yeah.
Didn't hear you over the
So this,
Am I on?
this isn't a bar instance, it's an AMA for the world creators and world
Okay.
You have the floor.
This is not a drinking bar, this is not a party place. This is okay, cool.
Holy crap, my heart's racing.
Oh no!
I'm a huge fan.
Would you like us to come back to you?
Damn, that sucks getting anyway.
Come on, you got this,
I
bud.
wanna. I'm a huge fan, and
we appreciate you coming out.
They're so good.
Thank you.
I've been looking like the 500.
If you want, we can come back to you in a little bit. All right, if anyone else have a question, raise your hands, please.
I got right here in the middle.
I'm looking. All right, I got a question mark here. I'll come over here. Go ahead and ask your question here.
Hi, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hi, so I was wondering, there was games in the DJ booth. We were wondering, a lot of people are interested in playing those games, but they're not accessible. So we were wondering if they could be moved to like the memory vault or
stealing that cup. Put it back down.
So we are working on trying to get the pool table back in. There is two ideas of what we're going to do with the pool table, for example, as well as the spin the bottle, which we intend to improve in the future, as well as the beer pong table. We are looking to get those potentially where you can replace the tables and chairs here and choose your target game as management to put down in that sector. You would also be able to do the same as management over here if you're not doing anything with the stage. And then finally, that area that we're planning to open up at the back with the private room hallway, that might actually become a games corner. So.
I'm not gonna sweat it.
Alright, I'm about to head out.
All right, everyone. And just to make this a little bit easier, I'm so sorry, but I do have a shittier system. If you could put the question marks above your head, that will make it easier for me to come get you. But I do see Miyuki raising their hand back here, so I'm gonna have them ask our next question. What's your question, friend?
His last words.
Yeah, so as probably one of the most junior members of the staff, and I imagine a lot of people in here might be looking to become staff in the future. When it comes to, especially as a novice, when I go to other instances that are owned by other people, how do I conduct myself in that way? You covered it a little bit earlier, but
I think
I do want some clarification on that.
I get the general question. All right, so would you guys mind if I answer this one then? Because
you got this one.
All right, so as a staff member, each staff member has their own respective role. As us up here, we're the keepers and the founders. We do have photographers, we have our archivists, we have our peacekeepers. Each role will have its respective duties. But as an overall staff member, we want you guys to act with a little bit of professionalism. Just know that, you know, as a staff member of DCN, we just don't want to catch you out doing the loot stuff. You know, don't be slapping around your power. Don't be saying, "Hey, I know Lingy Rennie, I'm part of staff. I can do whatever I want." I will shut that down immediately. On that note as well, I know Tim probably would like to add on to this topic. Would you like to?
Indeed, I would. I want to expand a little bit on the conduct expected of staff members. Now, obviously, the higher you are on the totem pole is going to be the higher standard you're held to. Up here on this stage, we have the Duskview Keepers. We haven't really gone into detail about that outside of a single announcement, but here the members of the Duskview Keepers are intended to be the new top of the totem pole. We are supposed to be the people you come to. We are the people you're going to see, and it's people like us who are going to be held to the highest standard here. If you ever take any issue with how any of us are acting, you need to file a complaint. Please feel free to take that to any of us. We are expected to conduct ourselves with the highest level of professionalism. Make sure we aren't doing anything out of the norm, anything out of pocket. In fact, we've actually already committed to working on our professionalism in the sense of there will be less instances of staff members getting shit-faced and going a little crazy. Not to say we aren't allowed to drink, ever, but we are very much committed to becoming more professional and doing our best from here on out. Now, as for Miyuki's question, even lower level staff, we would hope, would hold themselves to at least a standard of class and not go too crazy out there. But do understand you are still your own person. Just don't let yourself get going too far.
At Dylan's place a lot. That's because we're fucking.
Jeez, this Dre's person's had their hand up for a while. Can you answer the question?
Dre's, where is Dre's? Yes, Dre, what is your question, friend?
Yes. So earlier, Lindsay, if you don't mind, you mentioned something about a casino, and you also that you guys are going to make down the road, and you also mentioned something about like some sort of income system.
Yes.
Would you use that? Would you use that same income system with that very same currency as spends in like the casino or other amenities once the VR chat actually implements the persistence feature, or are you going to find a workaround for it?
You bet. If Reedy is willing and wanting to code it, we're gonna do it. This is seriously like it's like. I guess you could say like RPG, like Cyberpunk 2077 kind of features, where we do want people to have. Yeah, we want some level of persistence that translates between multiple worlds, because you would be able to get things in world you'd be able to, I guess, tip with your digital currency or something, and bartenders would be able to earn money working at the bar, for example, or you'd be able to go throw it away at the casino. You know, different fun things to add to the immersion and get people to want to come back. To that end, we don't want to sell this currency. Let me make this clear. Cheese has it. But to that end, we do not want to sell that currency. You will never see us selling that. This is not going to be a Patreon feature. You cannot tip us for it. We're not going to. We might give it away for free for events and stuff.
Yes, there is.
There might be a battle pass.
There's not a battle pass.
There's not a battle pass.
Next, you guys are gonna ask me for customizing the. Go down the street, use your digital currency, buy digital furniture, furnish your apartment. I might as well just make The Sims while I'm at it. Why don't I just make The Sims while I'm at it?
And you're right, I guess.
Hey, real quick here before we go to the next questions, real quick. I want everyone who has a question to put a question mark above your head right now. I'm going to make a list of these names here, and then Cheese can go off in the direction.
How about instead of this, if we could, anyone who has a question, please shrink down and come to the front of the stage. That way I know you have a question.
Am I good where I am, or do I have to move forward?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. So on that note, I'm gonna pass it to Sloth here. Hey, what you got, friend?
I'm not used to being this small.
Alright, so it's kind of a multi-tier question. Start it off, is it possible to implement like a security room or like a shack that's almost like out front of the club to help moderate, nefarious acts or children trying to get into, the bar?
You're talking about like a booth?
Yeah, almost like a booth, almost so we have like a sentry out front that could, help security, alert them before they actually come down there. Like kind of how we do it in our Discord is, it will be implemented like that in our Discord. And a couple other questions. is there plans on customizable lights and accent colors, and toggleable decorations for like birthday parties, bachelorette parties, holidays, etc.?
Ooh. I'm gonna pass this one to Savvy if I can.
Yes, absolutely. This is all I'm going to say about this right now. Two major projects in the background that I am spearheading with a few helpful members of the staff are Operation Duskview Classics and Operation Duskview Holidays, to be coming to you in a month in the future. But to answer, if you're wondering about how do I hold special themed events and themed bar nights here, without having to create an entire bar solely around that idea or take my entire Patreon subscription just to make something like a Christmas bar, we are going to have solutions for that for you coming up in the next few months here. Probably sooner than that. I'm making good headway on it. So yes.
Now, as for the question of the streets, this technically can be accomplished by just leaving somebody on the street. I'm worried, yeah, there's a lot of surface area out there for people to just hang out and just never come into the bar, and this has been a very definite concern. Having a way to actually view the exterior and listen in is something that we can add to the security booth for sure, so that you know, hey, there's some people that are talking about doing some shit before they come in. Maybe we just go ahead and nip it in the bud while we can, you know? Of course, this also comes down to, are you using the in-world moderation, or are you actually getting permit? And this goes for all groups. Does your group have sufficient moderators in it? Do you have people that you've trusted who can handle instance moderation? Because our world moderation is nowhere near as powerful as group moderation powers, because you can kick and ban. And we see a lot of people that come to us with worries that, oh, well, this crasher keeps coming back. Well, why didn't you ban them? This is something that you've been able to do without the DCN in any world going forward. As soon as the group system came out, this has been a feature. So this is something that people need to use.
To add on about the colors thing.
Rini, go ahead and turn on the mic on the board, please.
Oh my god, you're alive. And then I was like, that might have been awkward.
We do want to try to limit it to one question per person for now, so that we get that through everybody though. But
to answer the colors thing, because that is constantly asked. Right now, because we bake the light maps, we absolutely would have to find a way to recalculate baked light maps at runtime. We bake the lights to save on performance. So there's two ways we can go about doing that. One would be to turn off the baked light maps, which would probably be a PC only feature. You would then be able to turn on real-time lights and then set the light colors however you'd want. Or we'd need to find a shader that we can recalculate the emissive lights specifically in the instance and turn those into the other colors. That way the emissive light strips, when you change them, you'd be able to change the colors, but all the light that's coming off of them would be the original color. So if we get that shader, we can fix that little issue.
All right, is that all from you guys?
Yep. Go for it.
Cool. All right. So next up, we're going to take your question, friend. Blue Dragon, what do you have?
All right. Okay, so my question is, I've noticed, I've heard some things about how they're trying to keep everything Quest compatible, because as we all know, the maximum download file size for any Quest compatible world is 99 megabytes. I noticed it's already pretty high, so if we're going to be removing, customizing, adding, is there any potential risk of Sunset becoming a PC-only world? Because that's actually that's been a concern among my staff members for like a couple months, for like a couple weeks now.
The download size seen on PC is not reflective of the download size on Quest. The Quest size download is actually smaller than the PC.
I don't have to get. And we can downsize textures.
Yes, we already.
I was curious about that. Yeah.
We are already stepping down from 1K textures in a majority of the spots in the PC version to 512s in the Quest version, and then the normal maps are even more harshly trimmed.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Yep. And as you ask your questions, guys, I ask you please leave the line here. Next up, I'm going to go with Cloud. What is your question?
No. I was trying to help Sloth, but
All right,
he's
then.
my manager.
Then you're good. Then Tom, would you like to ask your question then?
Yeah, so I already know the answer to this question, but I've seen it asked a number of times, so I figure it's worth bringing up here. And that question is, Lingy and Rinny, will you ever consider selling your drink machine as a prefab, or will you ever consider selling your verification system as a prefab?
Basically, after you.
This one's for Rennie.
So at this present moment, we are neither selling nor being commissioned to recreate these assets for any other world. In the future, we might open ourselves up to that possibility, but for the time being, well, it is the secret to the sauce around these parts, and to sell that would be selling what makes this world great and our next projects great. For the time being, it's a hard no, but just maybe 6 months down the road, we might look into creating something that would be sellable on Booth or Gumroad or whatever.
You ain't ever seen a disabled chicken before?
While you're doing that, I'm a fucking beast.
All right, Lingy, you want to add anything to that, or are you guys good?
The fact of the matter is, it would take a lot of time for us to actually dissolve the system, or rather the world around the systems, because these systems are so integrated into the world. It's not a very clean prefab or anything. It's not something that we downloaded base and then started working on. Everything over there is our creation. I modeled it, Rini programmed it, and a lot of things are it would be a whole package. You're getting the drink machine and the roll system, and you might as well get the security system and go with it. It would be an entire package, and it's not something that we're comfortable selling at this time now.
You know what's funny?
All right. On that note, then I'll move on to the next question. Fender, what is your question?
So this is kind of piggybacking on the security question. More of like seeing if it's possible to have like a join notification or some kind of like indicator on their tablet, because my staff, basically how we do it for, seeing if there's people on the street. We don't mind if people are on the street, but like just knowing that if we're in the bar and we want to make sure, like, prepare if someone's coming up to the security booth, we usually use our personal cameras. But at the same time, like that, it isn't always effective on, kind of notifying. Basically, my question would be is like, would there be a feature that could be added, kind of like how it is for the rings? But
so
I have a thought on this one, Lingy.
Let me tackle this real quick. Let me give this at least. You already have the ability through VR chat to turn on join and leave notifications. If you go into the the big options and then user interface, you scroll down about halfway to HUD verbose mode settings, you can turn on join and leave notifications there. You can also turn on portal notifications there. That is all built into VR chat.
I thought that was just for friends only, so you can set it to everyone.
Right. I used to have it that way too, but no, I turned that off a long time ago because I'm used to going into instances where I'm looking to see who joins because I want to know, does this name, are there red flags? Let me take care of it before it makes a problem.
Well, to further on that, not everybody wants to change their mode for that. At least some sort of join notification on the tablet kind of does make sense. I could probably look into something like that, where it'll start putting people's names on the list before they're even in the tunnel, at least. So that way, if you have the tablet, you'll be like, oh, there's 5 names on here. I better go check it out.
That's what my thinking was. Like, instead of like basically making it to where you can't verify them until they obviously hit the square, but their name still pops up as if they joined on the street, kind of thing. I guess
I could probably also put a notification on it as well. So like there might be a little notifications panel in top right saying how many unverified people there are. That way, and it might like glow for a few seconds when the number increments. That way you could be like, oh, there's a new person, and maybe the tablet might have like a noise on, noise off mode where you can make it actually give you audible notifications as well.
It could also possibly be useful for us to put on the tablet, for example, the number of users that are actually still out on the street, so that you know how many people are just sort of sitting outside not doing anything or promoting, like contributing to the instance.
On that note, Lingy, so I know with the interactive map we have here, could there be a feature later on in the future where you have almost like a counter for each area. So tell you how many people are in the bar, how many people are in the street, how many people are in the back rooms.
That's the plan.
Kind of thing.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
That's already the plan.
All right. Well, then on
Cheese,
that note,
before
we're
you
gonna
move on to the
move
next
on to
question,
talks.
can I throw
Yeah,
one that I saw over on the AMA channel? And Savvy's totally not pinpointing this for her own sake, or as if I brought this up earlier this week. But someone asked, can we get a floating indicator above the heads of staff members so that we can know who and who isn't staff when they join an instance?
Yeah. Wow.
I just put a thing in the staff chat specifically for that.
You guys are monsters.
All right, so to that end, Nerdy, I just want to go ahead and say we don't like using prefabs. We like building all of our own stuff in-house. So if it's something we can avoid making a prefab for, we like making our own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then on that note, we're going to move back onto the questions. I'm going to go with Toxic Moon. What's your question?
So what I was kind of thinking about how y'all are planning on expanding like everything. I was wondering if you had an idea of making like a tablet. Like if you go into like YTS, YouTube Search 2.1, how they have the tablets in there, have something like that so it has like teleport, or like bartender stuff, security, or like
So there is going to be a hands-on tablet that you'll be able to summon. Yeah, it's actually sitting there dry in the back room right now. We just have to implement it so that it warps the interface to it. Because the thing that needs to happen with that is if you're moving around the instance and you're trying to use your tablet, it needs to not snap the interface to the walls because we're trying to use the same interface for both. We just have to build the tech for that, and then you'd be able to either pull it off over your shoulder, use up or down on your right stick, you know, whatever methods.
All right, then. So I wrap the question up then for you guys? All right, then. I'm going to move on to Mosquito. What is your question?
So, I don't know if anybody has brought this like to your guys' attention, but like the security little tablet, like sometimes when you grab onto it or like recall it, it just like freezes in place and nobody like a hand of it, you know? So it kind of like it'll just be still, or like when somebody else has it, like you can't even see it. So it's been pretty buggy. I don't know if it's been brought up yet or not.
Well, I thought it was local now, so.
Yeah, it should be local now. So like everybody should have their own version of it. You just pick it up there. So but if
I guess the main issue. Oh, sorry to interrupt. The main issue is like when you set it down. Like the other day, I lost it, I guess, and I pushed the recall button, and then it brought it back, but then I couldn't pick it up again. Like it was just frozen in place until like
no issue.
Pretty much until we start a new instance.
Yeah, the recall it never got fixed. The recall button it'll lock the tablet and you won't be able to pick it back up. It's a known issue.
yeah, but well, actually, when you do click it, there's a little lock button on top of the tablet that you should be able to click then
That
to
doesn't fix
unlock
it either,
it.
Renee. If you hit that recall button, it just locks.
Yeah.
It's done. It doesn't move.
That's very weird.
You didn't know?
Well, Rennie has.
Because I can always unlock it and use it.
Sorry, Rennie.
We can repo this right here.
Nerdy, I see you have a question. When we get your question here.
I have super cool talents. How can I showcase my awesome talents on this stage?
Imagine that. Look at this beautiful poster here. So
No, don't look at it. Don't look at it. It's not updated.
You're gonna get blinded by the light. Don't look.
We do, in fact, have somebody new. I wonder who it could be that is going to be signing up and assuming the role of the person that people will go to so that their talent can be put to use on this very stage. And shucks, they're the person who's asking this question. Imagine that. So,
from Cox Table.
Nice to meet you, Bob.
to line that up. If anyone is interested in showing off their singing talents, their comedic talents, any kind of talent, we do have channels in Discord for that, and you can reach out to Nerdy here, who will then get in contact with you about getting you up on this stage, and they will help you find bars to perform at. All right. On that note, Cloud, I did see you raised your hand.
Okay, there is one bug that I was questioning if it was like something you guys can fix. Whenever it says an error code, you can only use that tablet throughout the map.
But I know you, but you don't know me.
That's our anyone.
So, yeah, traditionally speaking, when you get one of those error codes, the likelihood is something broke so badly you just have to rejoin the instance. A lot of people probably remember the 05A, what were we up to? 05A5? Yeah. So, yeah, it was 3, then it was 4, then it was 5, and then I made the tweak necessary to fix it. Yeah, it's very rare that we have any scripts cause weird issues, but every once in a while, I guess some script is like, I'm gonna do this thing before it's supposed to, and then it just freaks out the whole system. It's been my job to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's what the point of those error codes are for, so that we kind of pinpoint which thing is causing the weird inconsistency. But yeah, as of late, if you get like an 04 or just a 4 or a 3, usually just rejoining the instance fixes it.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty then. We're gonna move on to Cyber. What is your question, friend?
Okay, so I know you guys got the 18 plus and the 21 plus auto verify for the Discord. But is there any way that you guys are going to be implementing a program where if somebody was already verified at a bar, like let's say they had their date of birth entered at one bar, that they would be verified at the next bar for like anything like that?
We are using our own database. We are personally carding people and then saving the information of whether or not they meet our age verification. We have no way to validate whether or not other people have valid information, and we don't want to risk the potential of running into somebody who is improperly validated.
So I'll speak on this as well. A big thing I've seen come up a lot of the time is people saying, "Hey, I have the auto verification. Why can't I go into this bar?" Bars have the choice to turn off or on the age verification, and I do know a lot of bars out there, they do turn it off so that they can vibe check anyone that comes in. So if you go to a bar and you're wondering why it doesn't work, it most likely is the bar running it separately.
Yes.
Question: isn't Void supposed to be banned?
You're welcome to show up your dice if you want. I don't mind at all.
Fair enough. Goodbye.
Alright, I'm gonna speak to that! I'm gonna speak to that situation right there! This is a perfect example! This is a perfect example. I'm gonna be the Vaggie to Jesus Charlie right now. We are not in charge of your personal drama! I can personally vouch that I have the person they're talking about blocked myself from situations in my bar, but in no way is it my place to moderate them or tell them what instances they can and can't go to. You all can go wherever you want to in VR chat. Alright, that's it.
In a good way.
Alright. So, you want to ask your question then? You're up now.
Yes, please. First of all, I love a lot of the stuff I'm hearing. Super excited. While I will say that when it comes to the pool, not the pool table, but the beer pong and the spin the bottle, I love.
Yes.
Being able to like toggle them and replacing them with the couch and stuff, but to me that's like really big picture solution, which I'm assuming is going to take weeks, possibly even months, based on the fact that it's not on the phase 1 chart right now. I'm still really curious whether or not we can just quick fix, just move them into the memory vault where the supposed photo booth is that looks like a dance machine and the couches there. Maybe just like delete one of the couches and put the 2 games there, and I feel like that would be a really quick, simple fix that would allow for the access to the games to be
honestly, that work, to put it in there, it would be just as easy to put it out here, which would be the original vision. So it's
want to delete a couch, I just
it's
toggle and whatnot that I think is a lot bigger picture.
It's something we can work on, but at the moment, a lot of the pool tables do not work with Unity 2022, and we migrated our project to Unity 2022. We're trying. We're trying to get that thing working. One of these days, we might be able to get it to work and function again, but at the current time, we're just trying to find any solution we can for it. As for the beer pong and then the spin the bottle, it would be very easy for us to make toggles here, where it just toggles those on and then turns the tables off. And then that way you'd have them more in focus with the bar.
True, but then you would have to consider that if you do like local toggle, are you gonna do local toggles or global?
It would be management toggles. It would be up to management where.
It would be great if.
Yes.
Soon, that would be awesome. Otherwise, if just again, 10 quick fix. If you can just move them in Unity to that spot and then re-upload the world, I think we're vastly improved.
Unironically, our web dev has joined us. It's something that like we would want to make it so that for patron bars you'd be able to set up your default loadout. So just a couple of quick checkboxes that the world reads and decides, oh, well, should the tables and chairs be on or should it be one of these game tables? For the stage area, should it be tables and chairs or should it be one of the game prefabs? Stuff like that. It'd be pretty quick to do.
I agree, but I don't know when you're gonna do that. So again, hopefully mediation solution, but if you want to wait until you get done
we'll get to there are a lot of things in place. We'll get to what we can when we can get to it, but we have a specific roadmap with things. Also, I need to point out to adhere to our schedule, I would say about 2 more questions. And then we need to wrap up.
All right then.
Sloth here's been having a question for like a while here. He's been putting the question marks.
I already got the sloth. I'm trying to make sure everyone gets at least one question in. Big Papa, do you have a question?
Like who?
I do. Yo, can I get a mojito? All right.
Ask away.
Hey. My question for you was going to be about the security tablet out there, but it was already asked. So my other question is me and my team are still loving all of the advancements and improvements you have in this space, and your plans for the future Duskview City, 5th floor, and all the different things that you're trying to do. We would love that y'all keep us in mind. We would love to continue doing filming and talking to you guys.
Oh, for sure. We want so even if this isn't really a question in this case, but this is something that I can direct to everybody. If you have media that you're interested in getting featured by DCN and Sunset Bar, etc. at all, we are hoping to get media managers on our team. They're going to have very specific role titles, ones that we've decided on for the most part that will be sort of opening up to everybody here soon, where these media managers will be able to, at your discretion, if you choose to upload it to our website, for example, they can feature these things on the website, and then inevitably some things could show up in World. Small YouTube clips, for example, could actually be put onto the video players, for example, as like a in between X number of songs or something. It could play something from the official network. There are a variety of different things that we're exploring that managers would be able to turn on and off at their leisure.
Alrighty then. We'll move on to our next question. Nobody Oreos? Do you have your question?
Yeah, it's more related to when it comes like a variety basis. When it comes to like I what are you gonna do with that?
I guess there's already like banners and stuff like that, but are you gonna like do something with like tables and stuff? Or where are you gonna add more or add less? Remove some stuff.
Wait, okay, I don't think I heard all of your question. Can you?
So the question is. The question basically is how can a bar get more unique inside the bar setting with different variety tables, all of that kind of sense, and I feel like that falls the Dust Classics. But if you'd like to answer that, Lingy, go ahead and elaborate.
Well, one of the fears we have is if we add too many different things to the world, it is going to increase the world size. And this impacts everybody, even the people that are not running with these different features. I do want to create more prefabs, I guess, different tables and chair layouts that people will be able to choose. If you want to axe the booths and turn it into like cafe tables or something, I'd totally be in line with that. When we have the tech on the website to be able to choose where the games go, and this is a great actual example of trying to achieve uniqueness, you might be able to choose what goes where. You might be able to choose to turn off those booths and put the beer pong table over there. You know, something. There are a lot of ideas that we can actually round out with this. So.
All right.
We will definitely keep that in mind.
Savvy, take over.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. We didn't get to any of your. Want to get this one right here?
Yeah, go.
All right.
Go one more question, please.
Is it Vix or Cloud? All right, Vix, what's your question?
It's more of just like a statement. I noticed like earlier when I was in security that there's like a list of people that goes up the wall. Like it kind of went through the map earlier.
It's debug information.
Yeah, I should just turn that off at this point.
It went up all the way.
Could you make it? Could you make it scrollable?
No.
What I need to make it do is make it readable is the problem.
Like, can you make a
Yeah, it's just pure JSON data right now.
Yeah.
good actual blog?
That was basically it. That was only.
Leon,
Like that. I noticed that.
Already built in. It's been a while.
I have a question, Lee, real quick.
Yeah.
What, Lingy, if I'm gonna ask my question now, everyone, I'm so sorry. Lingy, when can I have my dice back?
Yeah, Rooney's project kind of broke those when they handed me a scene update. I will try to get those in again soon.
All right, everybody, we are going to close out the open-ended questions right now. Thank you all so much for being here. We greatly appreciate you. And if we can, to take a moment here to document this, if I can get everybody right there in the dead center of the bar, face the entrance, we're all going to stand there and take a quick group photo for the AMA bar, at which point that will be a conclusion to the evening.
The DCN staff bar banner right under here where I am standing.